bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky to your cabin or camper in the woods. Or maybe in a very secret bug-out area. You know, we're going to talk about secret bug-out areas in the show. Or just couch surfing, or maybe on a road trip, or relaxing on your lazy boy. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. and something's moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some coffee or tea, because you're tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Track by music, intro track by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. And today, obviously, the darkness awaits, the dark, windy road. Today's show disclaimer, we do not offer investment advice, and we do not know anything. We can't even read. This video should not be viewed by anyone ever. So you're in it on your own accord. All right, guys, what's happening in your neck of the woods? I hope everyone's having a good evening. Hope everyone's having a great evening here. It's Friday night here. Saturday night, I'm sorry. It is Saturday night, and it's Sunday afternoon in New Zealand. And New Zealand, people watching us from that neck of the, or down under. I want to send a special thanks out to our people in Northwestern Europe who are watching this transmission very vigilantly and sent me a bunch of news pieces that they would like for me to cover here on Mike in the Night tonight, and I had no problem whatsoever. And a little bit of what's happening in France, a little bit of what's happening in I think it's Holland or one of those countries. So I'm getting a lot of messages from that part. It's kind of funny. You know, with the amount of messages I'm getting from people that live in Iceland, Greenland, Denmark, and Finland, I get more messages from people from that part of the world that watch Mike in the Night, never mind like from America, Canada, Australia, from that part of the world than I have subscribers on my channel. It's so bizarre. It is so bizarre. So anyways, guys, let's go to a quick channel plug, and we're going to kick off some headlines here. We got everyone who's in the comments already. We got David Xavier in the house. We got Tyler in the house. We got The Raven in the house. Blunt News is here. Green Tea, Freedom and Truth. Don't forget to subscribe to Green Tea, Freedom and Truth, please. Also, who else do we got here? We got TJH, Linny Poo in the house. We got Nicolas. We got Pure Grosso. I think I saw Mitch Madden, V-Rocket, everybody in the house tonight. Terry Tony in the house. So there it is right there. Everyone rolling in. Guys, you could tune into the channel a half an hour before we go live, and the chat room is like buzzing. There was like 35, 40 people in the chat room going over the headlines and what's going on, like amongst themselves, right? So I kind of wanted to throw that out there. Oh my God, Stel Toronto. Oh my God. Okay, Stel Toronto just sent me $100 in super chat. Okay, this is like $1,000 now. Stel Toronto has sent me, and I don't even know how to thank you, or I thank you very much for supporting the transmission at such a high level. Wow, I don't even know what to say, man. Every live stream I do, Stel Toronto comes on and throws $100, and last time was a couple of $100, and yeah. So Stel Toronto, you're officially cut off super chat until 2022. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Lots of love, and I don't even know. I'm very, I don't know. I feel like crying, to be honest with you. But thank you, Stel Toronto. All right, we can do better than that, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's do a quick channel plug here. If you haven't yet, go ahead and let's go over to big screen here. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to set your reminders for upcoming shows. I put a video up today. It's getting a lot of views. It's Get Out of Canada Now. Guys, Market Wars, this Wednesday, we're going to, Commonwealth for Common Folks. Here you go, guys. Paste. Guys, don't forget to set your reminders for Commonwealth for Common Folks. And next Saturday's Mike in the Night is Digital Soul. Is your soul turning digital? What is happening? Are we becoming so digitally enslaved that now our soul is what's left? Or is it Microsoft that's creating a program to reincarnate our soul or something inside something? I read something like that a couple of weeks ago, and that kind of spooked me a bit. Guys, don't forget to buy something on Teespring. This t-shirt right there is right there. This t-shirt right here. And my dirt bike t-shirt's doing really well. I want to thank everyone for picking that up. Guys, don't forget to go ahead and follow me on Facebook. And if you want to send me show tips, it's easier for me to get them on Instagram. Please go ahead and send them on Instagram, please, if you don't mind. And music by Ralphie.co.New Zealand. I urge you to go over and subscribe to him and tell him that Mike Martin sent you. And art by Dano, not your typical art. He said he wants to call into the show. He's in California. He's got some important news that he would like to share with us. So it'd be good to see what Dano has to tell us. And he said he's going to do some Star Wars art. I'm his coach. I'm his manager. I'm telling him to do some Star Wars art because look at his art. Now, if he does some Star Wars like this, I think he would do very well. I mean, he does very well, but I think he could attract a bigger audience. That's just me. All right, let's move on, guys. So you are tuned in to Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. All right, what's going on, folks? How's everyone doing out there? Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get into our top stories, if that's okay with you guys. It's okay with me. All right, let's go to... I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. I do that a lot. I try to be funny, but I'm not funny. I know I'm not. Oh my God, we got Brother John in the house. We got TJH, Azores. Azores Timeshare. I got 50K ready to put on it. We got Jay Borg there. We got, who else? Market Education. All right, let's go over some articles here. All right. Don't forget to add me on Skype if you want to call into the show. Mike Martin's 1980. So this was sent to me by someone who watches us in France. There's a couple of people apparently that watch us in France. We got a big following there. France riots. Macron braced for furious lockdown rebellion as chaos erupts on the street. The gentleman, Manuel, that sent me this, has been living in France. He immigrated from Mexico. I think it was like 27 years ago. He's been living in France ever since. He works as, it's something to do with the city. And he's telling me that everything is going nuts in France right now, and this video shows it here. I don't want to play too much of it, but there's a lot of street fights going on, and apparently there's hired thugs that are going out that are on the side with the police to go out and start problems on the streets in France, from what I was told. So I kind of wanted... Whoa, this guy's talking. So anyways, I kind of wanted to show this to you guys. So here it is, guys. French President Emmanuel Macron is on the brink of announcing a third national lockdown as COVID cases continue to rise at an alarming rate. So the only way to shut down these protests is to go ahead and start with the COVID. It's kind of miraculous, like Gerald Salente always says on his show. It's kind of weird how COVID-19 miraculously showed up during the Hong Kong protests and the French protests, and all this other uneasiness that's been happening. Stel Toronto sent me another $100 saying, thank you for all your comments, everyone. You guys are the best. Thank you, Stel Toronto. Another round of applause. Okay, so here it is, guys. So this is what's happening right now in France. I got some images here. Let me put this. Layla Limipu sending me a super chat. Thank you so much. Stel Toronto, you are the best. Yeah, Stell's the best. I'm going to get my computer fixed now with all that money. Okay, so let's go to article scan. There it is right there. There's your uneasiness there that's happening in France. They're trying really hard to get this off the mainstream media. There was the big walk they did a few days ago. Now, just before we skip to the next story, some Western media is actually spinning it as a pro-Trump protest, not against lockdowns. There is some media in France, in Brazil, in all these countries, Mexico, in the Spanish news, they were saying earlier in the Mexican news, I watch Mexican news, and I know what they're trying to spin there. They basically are saying that this is a pro-Trump protest. Same thing that happened in New Zealand. It was a protest against the lockdowns in New Zealand, and they were spinning it as as a pro-Trump protest, and then they did the same thing in Toronto, where they were spinning it as the big protests in Toronto. They were spinning it as a pro-Trump protest, but it was for lockdowns. So pro-Trump protests will be going on until the year 2466. I told you guys, by the year 2500, there's only two people on this planet will be known: Donald Trump and Jesus, because they're going to drag Donald Trump for the next couple of hundred years and blame his administration for the next 500 years on everything that the politicians now are doing wrong. They're just going to blame Donald Trump 500 years from now. Okay, let's move on. So there's the protests right there. And look at this photo right here. So protesters run from tear gas fired by riot police during the demonstration to support organizers. And there it is right there. Distancing on dit stop. I guess is stop it. Macron has so far... wise man sent me $10. Kind people deserve good karma. Thanks, wise man. Okay. Mr. Macron has so far resisted calls to plunge France into a third national lockdown, opting instead for 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. curfew. Again, a lot of people are basically protesting against the lockdowns. Plain and simple. No questions asked, no debate. Full stop. All right, let's move on. Now, if you think the coast is clear, no. Dutch government says rioters won't get away with it after third night of unrest. There is the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And guys, do not, it's got broken windows. Do not harm the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Man. If I was living there, I'd be upset if my local Kentucky Fried Chicken got damaged. So I don't want to play too much because they're going to flag this, but there it is right there. Some guy talking. He's still talking. They're not showing any of the footage, and they show a guy not wearing a mask. So big deal. Okay, so it's actually looking pretty bad there, and they are burning vehicles. Okay, the Dutch police detained more than 180 people in a third night of unrest in cities across the Netherlands, where roaming groups of rioters set fires, threw rocks, and looted stores in violence triggered by a night curfew aimed at curbing the COVID. So again, if the COVID didn't kick off last year at the end of 2019 into 2020, the world would be under civil and the entire planet would be in civil unrest. So what they did was to slow down the civil unrest or social disobedience. The COVID appeared at a miraculously timed event. And then now that COVID is here, they could use that now to lock people down, distance people from each other, close the nightclubs down, close the bars, because a lot of the resistance or people that formed governments or formed coalitions to actually bring a better future for some of, like a lot of it was founded in coffee shops, right? Supreme Canada brings that up a lot. A lot of this stuff was discussed in coffee shops, right? So there it is. Dutch government says rioters won't get away with it. I hope that these stores have insurance, because I get a lot of emails from a lot of people in Middle America, in Wisconsin, Oregon, all over, that are emailing me like twice a day, different people saying, Mike, you're right. I don't have riot insurance on my business. So now all those BLM riots that destroyed the country, or destroyed portions of the country, let me rephrase that destroyed portions of the country, will not recuperate, because now insurance companies do not want to cover riots, right? So if you're in an area where you got damage, you are not covered for riots unless you ask for it. I called my insurance company and I added riots on there for an extra $8 a month for my house and for my store. It cost me $8 for my store and $2 a month more for my house. We Are Awake News TV sent me $11.11. That is, and he says, I love the show. First time viewer here. God bless you. Thanks, brother. I hope we are awake, because this is a very interesting time we are in right now, and things are Yeah. So Dutch mayor warns the country is heading for civil war following a violent anti-curfew protest as France and Italy admit they are facing another COVID lockdown. Right there. COVID lockdown. They're spreading fear amongst the people, and the streets out there are empty, and the small businesses are suffering. And I brought this up, and I'm going to bring it up again because no one's given me an answer on this. How is the public sector going to fund its bullcrap, whatever it does, the public sector, whether it's your hospital, whether it's your firefighters, whether it's your roads, your bridges? How is the public sector going to survive if there's no private sector to fund it? How? Unless they print money to eternity and devalue everybody's savings. And that's why I say, if you have a little bit of money, buy a couple of bars of silver, buy a few bars of gold, just to hold on to hedge against inflation. Right? Every good investor has 10 to 30% of their portfolio is precious physical metals to hedge against inflationary levels. Right? So Dutch mayor warns. Okay, Europe is in the midst of a COVID chaos as countries race to tighten their. So it's always a COVID chaos. It's always a COVID chaos when people start rioting or civil disobedience or a peaceful protest. Remember last week's show, we had Eduardo over at that protest in Toronto. He sent us the video of people getting arrested for a peaceful protest. Now it goes in the article, Europe's battle against COVID entered a dangerous new phase. This week, politicians push to tighten lockdown. Again, it's pushing against the civil unrest. That's all it's pushing against. Everything miraculously arrived during the Hong Kong protests, right? So let's move on here. Australia's air attacks in the Middle East ended 3 years ago, or did they? So there's a lot of these politicians, what they're doing is they're basically lying. The media lies. The media is not the watchdog anymore. This guy at least is questioning whether the airstrikes in, where is it? Syria? Where's this? Iraq? Where is this? I'm not going to read this whole thing. Where is this? Iraq? So it looks like, let's read this. Australian air attacks on enemy ground. But who's the enemy? Australian attacks on enemy ground targets in the Middle East ended 3 years ago, or so the Australian military told us. But undisclosed or either the Australian public or the federal parliament, this country's Air Force personnel have been piloting deadly British Air Force drone strikes on enemy combats in Iraq and Syria. Oh my God. I didn't know that Australia declared war against Iraq and Syria. It's because they're so close to each other, right? They're like right on each other's border. All right, let's move on. Reddit users in Canada, US and Canada, plagued by outages in service amidst the game shop stock frenzy. So if you jumped on that and you got it at the right time, and again, they're basically pushing a lot of these wealthy Wall Street and all these manipulators are getting a taste of their own medicine. The little guy's winning. I never got into this whole game. I didn't care. I could have bought in when it was at $60 or $50. I didn't care. I have other stocks. I go back and forth with the markets. Sometimes I'm very excited in the markets, and sometimes I slow things down. I trade on a pretty much semi-daily basis. Sometimes I go a week without, and then I go back on, trade 20, 30 times. But these guys are getting a taste of their own medicine. Now, they have to cover the shorts because a lot of these big companies were shorting the little companies into failure, shorting them into death. And what did they do? They went ahead and bought up the stock and raised the price on it. And when they raised the price on it, guess what happened? They had to cover the shorts of these big big tycoons that were betting on the on little stores and betting on little businesses to fail. So right there, that's a small win for the little guy. Fearing Beijing crackdown, thousands flee Hong Kong for the UK. Now, there's a big battle going on behind the scenes between Canada, England, Australia, and New Zealand. I'm not sure if the United States of America is in on this one, but they're fighting for rich investors. Now, this is the last straw now, because Beijing has really cut down on capital flows leaving China, and they're going to make like Bitcoin and other coins in China very illegal, because a lot of people are loading up on the Bitcoin in China, coming to North America, opening a bank account, and then cashing in North America. And that's a really easy way to launder your money. But unfortunately, these countries in the background have been fighting over wealthy investors. And it's basically impoverished Canada, United States, New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. But the United States, it's only certain blue states that are like that. Now, with the new president-elect in the United States, you're going to see Amerifornia happen. Amerifornia, where America will become California, where expensive housing, cost of living is expensive, and people moving around to different cities to try and make ends meet, and housing will just keep going up like in Canada. Look at what happened to housing in Canada since 2010, and Australia, and New Zealand, and the UK. That's coming for you, America. I hope I'm wrong, but that's coming for America because of their new president-elect. So there it is. So crackdown. So there it is. Freedom of speech. I don't know how much freedom of speech you get in Canada. Comparing people to animals is offensive to animals. Comparing people to animals is offensive to animals. The latest load of bull to come down from PETA's high horse. So there's PETA. So they got signs up here saying, reject male supremacy, reject heterosexual supremacy, reject white supremacy, lucha contra los injusticia. That means go against the injustice or fight against injustice, and reject human supremacy. And that's it right there. So there's the PETA. PETA is looks like, what is that, Times Square? Yeah, that looks like downtown. That looks like downtown Manhattan there. That's Times Square right there. Yeah, it is. Times Square painted animals and posted against the injustice in New York. So there it is, PETA. Good job, PETA. No wonder. The Alchemist is saying, low roll scratcher, I have no game, but do have AMC and Sundial. Yeah, I have Sundial too. Sundial is a good marijuana stock that's out there. Join us on Wednesday's show. We'll talk about stocks, housing affordability, forbearance, all kinds of crap. So there it is. There's PETA. Yeah, PETA. Woo! Woo! Am I offending an animal by sounding like a wolf or a... Okay, as China looks to buy telecom assets in the Pacific Islands, can Australia jam the call? State-owned China Mobiles reported interest in Digicel, and the biggest mobile carrier in the region is seen as being a serious national security concern for Canberra. Why is Australia all of a sudden so concerned about what China does? They weren't concerned when the Chinese came up and bought all their condos and houses and left the Australian proper in poverty. They weren't concerned about that, but now they're all of a sudden concerned about a telecom company? All right, let's move on. Look at this. Everybody's behind these plexiglasses. Hold on, let me zoom this in so you can actually see this. Everyone's sitting behind their own plexiglass, in their being, I guess, brainwashed while their teacher tells them how bad the West is and how bad freedom of speech is, and they're using, all the riots in America to show the social dissidence that's happening, and they're working it to their benefit to show these students that they don't want a country like that. They don't want you don't want freedom of speech. You want people to speak for you. And the sad part is a lot of these people will never get to negotiate anything for themselves because they're going to be told for the rest of their lives where to go, how to go, what to eat, what to sleep, where to be, and what to do, and who to be friends with to be a good citizen. We got Jem Rose saying they have to make it look like there is a resistance. China-U.S. relations as Biden team gathers allies. It finds Asian partner more willing than Europe. So there it is. U.S. President, as well as Secretaries of State and Defense, have sent early and consistent diplomatic signals about China and the Indo-Pacific. So if you've been living under a rock, well, India and China are having a lot of border disputes. China built an entire, maybe 2,000 person little houses and a couple of condos on the Indian side of the border, and China's claiming that belongs to China after China built. It's like me going, it's like Canada building a small city in Mexico, and then Canada later saying, well, that's Canada. What are you doing? Well, that's our stuff. That belongs to Canada. That's what China's been doing, especially in the South China Sea with those islands of war. We know what's happening, and their economic takeover of Australia has been pretty harsh. So Australians could tell you the sanctions they're suffering with China, but the Western media will never talk about the sanctions the sanctions that China put on Australia. They'll never tell you that. U.S. intelligence officially says Chinese government is collecting Americans' DNA. And I could bet you $100 that you'll have half of America out on the street protesting that they love this. Celebrating that, yes, China has our DNA. Thank you. This is the world we live in. The largest biotech firm in the world wasted no time in offering to build a run COVID testing lab, again, under the name of COVID. Iran lays out roadmap for nuclear talks with Biden, but they need to, obviously, get rid of the sanctions first, right? Calgary police take traveling woman into mandatory isolation, but refuse to tell family where she is. Okay, guys, if you've seen this woman, can you let us know or call into the show? We're looking for this woman. So this woman, I hope it's her and not somebody else. If you're watching the show and anyone has seen this woman, could please call in or let us know the whereabouts. The family is looking for her. So I'm going to say this one more time because your ears probably won't believe what I just said. Calgary police take traveling woman into mandatory isolation but refuse to tell family where she is. Right there. To serve and protect my ass. Right there. Ottawa, Canadian Airlines agree to suspend flights to Caribbean and Mexico. See what happened? The politicians went on vacation to the Caribbean and everything because the rules do not apply to government, Canadian government officials. The rules don't apply. I'm not saying this. One of the governors or one of the politicians in Alberta said so. We covered it on a morning coffee with Mike. One of the politicians in Canada said that government rules do not apply to COVID or anything. That doesn't apply to government workers. So a lot of politicians went away. They got caught. Okay? And then now, average Canadians cannot take a vacation. And Linny Poo's vacation was canceled. We'll get her on the show in a few minutes here to find out how she feels about that. Canada suspends all flights to the Caribbean, and Mexico imposed forced quarantine in government-approved facilities. So here's Canada's great leader. We should have some sort of introduction every time we announce him on the show that our great leader is here. Okay, so this one I can't read, but I want to actually tell you what it says here. Hold on, this. Some ambulance, yeah. Okay, so officials, hospital workers are refusing to take the vaccine in Europe. Sage urges number 10 Number 10, to make face masks compulsory outdoor in crowded areas to help stop the spread of super infections. Kent variant. Holy smokes! They have Kent variant? Guys, they have Kent variant. They have Kent variant. I don't know what Kent variant is. So there's a new variant. It's called Kent variant. Okay, I don't know where I was, but they got Kent variant. If anybody knows what the hell Kent variant is, can you please call into the show and instruct us what Kent variant is? Or is this in a foreign language and I'm reading it wrong? Is it in Spanish? Kent variante? No, maybe it's Italian. What's Kent variant? Are they going to keep doing this like they did with Afghani freedom fighters? And then from Afghani freedom fighters, we had Al-Qaeda, then the Taliban, then ISIL, ISIS, and I don't even know what it is anymore. But are they going to do it like that? Where it's the Kent variant, it's COVID, it's what's that other one from Africa? That the variant from Africa, they're calling it. So, the Kent variant. The Kent variant. I'm going to oh my God. Okay, let's move on. 329 deaths, 9,560 injuries reported following COVID vax, latest CDC data shows. Now, here's the problem. There's the CDC data, so this is not like secondary media. This is actually from CDC themselves. There's the deaths and the percentile, the percentages and everything. Now, here's the problem with this. This is the problem I'm having with this. They're telling us 329 deaths. So remember, when the media, they multiply that by 100 or 50 or 10, because they never tell us exactly. They're not going to tell us exactly how many, but they're going to say, well, there's people dying, so we got to announce that people have died from this. But because we're not that dumb. But then 329 multiply what by 100? 10, 50 to get a real number? China compares U.S. Capitol riots with Hong Kong. So China compares U.S. Capitol riots with Hong Kong protests. Okay, so 2 policemen on duty in the nation's capital, basically opening the doors and let the people come in. And the police chief asked for more security and they was turned down. So China comparing U.S. Capitol riots with Hong Kong protests. No, I would say if I was to compare an American riot that was recent to the Chinese to the protests in Hong Kong, I would say it would be the Seattle riots, because they had that no-go zone in Seattle. What was that called? CARP, or TARP? SWARP? I forgot what it was called. So there was a section that was a no-go zone in Seattle. Hong Kong was like the no-go zone, in my opinion. Like part of Hong Kong was part of the no-go zone for the police and stuff. So I compare like the burning of the buildings, the smashing of the banks, all that crap, more to the Seattle riots, not the Capitol riots. There was 3 people running in, and 3 people start to run in, open the doors, and everybody piles in. Wow. China on Thursday tried to draw parallels between the U.S. riot on the Capitol Hill and pro-democracy unrest in Hong Kong. Hong Kong riots were beyond. They don't even show them anymore here, and they're going to have to go back on lockdown because of the new, is it COVID Kent WXYZ virus? We don't even know anymore. It's unknown. All right, where were we? Care homes suffer COVID outbreaks and deaths in post-Christmas peak. So what they're doing is they're blaming the fact that they didn't have enough time to get the second jab, and that's why a lot of people are passing away, because they got the first vaccine, they're still waiting on the second, and more people are passing away because of that. And we got, what the hell is this? WND, free press for people. Now Biden thinks he can ban terminology. Yes, coming to Amerifornia. Biden will ban terminology. Oh, yes, there's a war against language, and we've been talking about that here on Mike in the Night. you know what I'm talking about. They've been using language against us. They've been using language. Thank God I speak other languages. Speaking of other languages, I have a show, a live stream on Saturday nights in Portuguese and a live stream on Sunday nights on my Spanish channel in Spanish. Okay, Patty Hajdu takes part in closed-door Davos plan on borders and travel. So now, let me kind of clear things up here. I did a video earlier, and I kind of want to bring this up again because it's kind of important. Where is it here? Where's our great leader? I'm not too worried about this guy. I'm going to be really honest with you. He's bad policies. Yeah, he's been caught. It makes the Watergate scandal from the Nixon administration look like a walk in the park. Yeah, he's a terrible leader. He's fine. But the problem is, what I'm afraid of more is who this guy appoints that's not voted in. Like a health minister, a science minister for the country. All these people that get appointed by these administrations are more dangerous than the puppet head. That's a major issue. And I'm afraid of the people that get appointed. We got VWAP trader saying, Mike Martins, any take on the China raising their repo rates? Big news in my opinion. Well, they're going to have to raise their repo rates because they can't balance their overnight lending. None of the banks there trust each other. A lot of banks are actually secretly moving money offshore. Okay, so there's major issues happening there, and if banks can't trust each other to lend to each other so they can balance their overnight rates, they're obviously gonna start increasing their the lending power to keep these banks afloat and investors afloat. Okay. Terminology. Okay, this has got to be Canada. What is it saying here? De Villa recommends extending COVID bylaws until June. Oh yeah. All right. Extending it till June. Google deletes 10,000 negative reviews of Robinhood app from angry users. Okay, this is not fair. I have a business in town similar to another business in town, and what's happened is I have a lot of negative reviews. And that other business, that the same people that wrote those negative reviews have wrote positive reviews on the other business. And it makes me look bad. It makes me look like a bad business when I have so many negative reviews, right? And I try to tell Google, like, these accounts aren't real. Like, I'm willing to pay you $5,000 for each account that's actually a real account by a real person that didn't make this account to write me a bad review. So they're going ahead on Robinhood's side and deleting 100,000 negative reviews. That is not, then Google's credibility even goes into more negative. Google's credibility was already at negative 35. And now they're going to go to negative 50, 200 because of this. I'm a small business owner, and I've told Google, look, there's a 5-star on my business, there's a 1-star on this other business within 30 seconds of each other's posting, and can you do something about that because it's another business that created this account and it's never been back on that account? Oh, no, that's okay. So, it's bull. It's all bull. Bull! Okay, what do we got here? All right, it looks like this is the protest today in Toronto. So if you're in Canada, this is the protest we had in Canada today. And I think Eduardo was there. I'm not sure. There's the Gestapo police on their mountain bikes there with their masks. And I said this before on Last Mike in the Night. People working in the police that are actually supporting this, they're gonna have a tough time finding a job in the private sector later. Like if somebody wants to retire, being a door greeter at some sort of store or something, they're gonna have a tough time getting employed. Like, oh, you were part of this during this? Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll give you a call. It's gonna be kind of a really tough time getting into the private sector, right? Because I think private businesses will find a resurgence. I don't know if it's gonna be in my lifetime, but private business will find a resurgence. I think there's going to be so much little man corporate espionage that's going to happen to the corporations. I don't know if you guys saw the movie Fight Club, but it was a war against the corporations, right? And I think that is the next thing to happen after whatever line of fire we're in at the time, whatever is the main key factor at the time. Woo! Okay, we got to get Linny Poo in. It's very important. Let's get Linny Poo on the phone first. Her trip was canceled. So
How are you?
hey, Lynn, how you doing? You doing okay?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm doing okay here. I'm gonna just, there you go. Put this on silent.
Okay. Now, what happened to your trip?
Well, it just finally got canceled. That's it.
Who
They shut
canceled
us
it?
down.
Does the flight?
No. Well, what happened is the airlines actually agreed. So the government was in there because, they had been like Justin had been talking about that, right? Warning us,
Our
saying,
great leader, yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, that things are going to change and they could happen without notice and all that. And then, so I knew there would be announcements all the way along, but it looked good. It looked good. Down to 2 weeks. I was already willing to do all the Nazi stuff they were asking, and it's a lot. But I was like, oh, brother. We were both like, oh, my God, all that stuff. But sure, let's go for it. And then, bit by bit, and then they just tighten the squeeze until they just shut it down. We're not allowed to go as of today. No more going to Mexico. Canada.
Lynn?
No more going to Mexico. No more going to the Caribbean. Nowhere in the Caribbean.
Okay, Lynn,
Yeah.
I do have confirmation. I did talk to a good friend of mine that watches the channel, is in a travel broker, and he's a big broker. He's the one that allocates huge travel packages and travel. You know what I'm trying to say, okay?
Right.
He told me, he said, Mike, I saw your video the other day. You are 100% right. The only way you could get back into Canada from the Caribbean, if you do decide to go and you can't get back in, is to come through China.
You can't go. You can't leave on any of our commercial airlines, like Air Canada, all of them, Sunwing, WestJet. Everyone must have made a deal with the government, I guess, because they all agreed that they were going to not fly. That's a common agreement. They're all in
Okay, so
agreement.
they're
That's
not going to
done.
fly now
Shut
because
down.
the government said. Okay, so why are they? Are they still trying to pull this COVID thing still?
Well, of course, yeah, and right, because there's new variants, so they really want to
The
keep us
cat
safe.
various.
Yeah, there's variants and all
The
that
cat
thing.
variant.
It's crazy. We all know that viruses mutate constantly, and the coronavirus, like that virus, has
Does
I
that still
think about
exist, or is it?
1,000
Is that still
different variants.
Oh, variants could go on forever. You know that.
No, there's already 1,000. Like that doesn't end. That is part of what happens. That's just a no-brainer. Who doesn't know that? But see, I guess people, if they don't know that, it's like, wow, right? But the numbers are the same, and all kinds of people, more and more, come out. Big names. Tony Robbins even came out. People love him. He's like trying to explain to people in a short little plug that, hey, nothing's changed. The numbers are the same. People die to flus at these rates every year. This is normal.
Well,
They
same
didn't
thing. Well,
announce
Lynn,
it.
same thing with Florida. Florida doesn't have all these measures and Florida's the people at hockey games. I'm watching it, and there's nothing going on. And you know that the Canadian media company was asking that if they're showing hockey or something to blank out the people in the stands so people in Canada can't see that.
I know.
To blur it out so we can't see that there's other
So
countries.
that we don't be like, hey, what do you mean? Why do they get to do that? Yeah.
But okay, I spoke to a travel. He told me that if you could find a way to get to China, you could get back to Canada. All flights from to China's fine. Like Lynn, if you and Raven want to go to China on vacation, you will have no problems going and coming back.
No problems. But all flights that come in internationally do have to go through that process where you need to be, even if you had a negative test before you boarded the plane, because you did have to have, that was part of I had a huge regiment I had to do. We both would have had to do to go on this holiday too, and we were willing to do it all. And it was, these are daily check-ins, daily take your temperature, then you have to check it in, you have to have a tracking app on your phone, the Canada one, have to. It's like, okay, I guess I'll get tracked. test, phone in every day while you're on holiday, get a PCR test, come home. PCR test has to be, within a certain period, come home. But now we can't anyway. But say they would have done the other way, and let us go. But we can't. But so other people who are coming to the country, and we would have had to take a PCR test, even though we just had one before we left, because you have to take one before you board a plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get off the plane, you have to take one again. And then Canada says then you are held at your expense for 3 days till you get your test results.
I got Angela Ha.
Mandatory shutdown.
Angela Ha just sent me a message. Her name is Angela Ha. She's saying, yes, Mike, I arrived from Shanghai 2 days ago. No test, no requirements, just arrival, no problem at Vancouver Airport.
Well, when was that?
2 days ago.
Okay, that's 2 days ago. We just got our cancellation today, Saturday, yesterday. Yesterday's when.
No, but she's coming from China, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, she's going to have to. Don't worry. Anyone who comes into Canada internationally is going to have to do that. That's coming in.
No, I don't think they're going to do it for people coming from China. I don't think they will do that for China.
What? But
well, during the lockdown, all the flights were closed to the United States. Flights were closed to the United States, okay? During the major lockdown. Remember that? But they were open to China.
Well, you still have to do the mandatory test and 3-day quarantine. You still have to. I'm sure of that. I'm sure I even sent you that.
I'm going to find out.
She didn't because it was 2 days ago. We just had that announcement yesterday, and it's going to be implemented. This is what's coming. That's what's happening. Yep. And then if you are positive, say you test positive, you have to go to their, I don't want to call them camps, because they are like hotels or whatever facilities they have, but it is government facility. You have to go to a government facility to quarantine for 2 weeks if you're positive.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did you do the swab? Did you do the anal swab, or because they're doing anal swabs now in China?
I didn't do them, but I was thinking about that too. I thought, wow, what if you had to come and do what would you pick? The brain or the bum? Right? That's actually a good question, because Raven was always like, I don't want them putting that thing up my nose. Right? And I know it's freaky. And because you hear of them getting it's not good. They're right at your blood-brain barrier. That is actually very bad.
It's dangerous,
so
actually.
I'd probably pick the bum. I'll go with that.
Really?
Nice and safe. It depends, as long as they don't go all way up there.
So now, okay, let's go back to mid lockdown, mid 2020 lockdowns. Doctors, several thousand doctors across America signed a petition that it's okay to rally and protest even during the COVID crisis. And I don't understand how that works. And then now people want to go to the Capitol for the presidential stuff and kind of follow what's happening in their country because they're concerned citizens. And they can't do that because of COVID. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's Kent? Do you think it's the Kent variant that's coming around now?
There's just, they pick these names and they go and they make it up as they go. They probably just draw it out of a hat. They're like, what should it be? Everyone puts their ideas in, it just makes, none of it makes sense. I know that none of it is meant to make sense, because you're talking about people who are trying to mind control at the end of the day, right? This is all about getting everyone on the same wavelength, and it's organized. Yeah, it's a little procedure. They're following procedures and tactics. So when you realize they are trying to make it stressful and sad and traumatic when people lose their parents early because they had a vaccine, and now their old parents maybe are dying all of a sudden, getting sick, getting a headache, not feeling good. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, right off. There's a lot of trauma and sadness and loss. And you're not going to sound like, you lose a trip, big deal. It's not that, right?
Dude, I lost $4,000 last year to my trip to the Philippines.
Yeah, it's a loss, and it's a little bit of loss. Face it, you had a thing, and that's wow, and it's taken away. And
I could have built a house in the Philippines for $4,000.
it's dreams, it's a life. Like, these are pulling back times. There is mourning. There is a level of mourning in all, without trying to sound like, oh, woe is us. But it is okay to face that fact too. Like, there is loss happening, and we do have to process through the feelings,
Okay,
right?
Beat BX is saying, Mike, I go vacation, I pay, I come home, I pay hotel. So that's somebody there in the comments there. Then I got
Yeah.
Charlie Lee saying, yes, Mike, during the major COVID lockdown, June, July of 2020, I went to Shanghai 3 times and into Canada 3 times with no tests, no checking, no nothing.
Right.
But
But we
that
just
time
had the
it
announcement.
was
Yeah.
restricted to travel to America.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's a
was
different thing.
restricted to travel to the United States, but you could go
Mhm.
into China back and forth without an issue.
Who can even keep up to these? These are confusing times. It's all meant to be confusion and make no sense and be in our face like, hey, that doesn't even make sense. And it's like the emperor has no clothes and everyone's looking and the emperor has no clothes. You know that fable?
Hmm.
It's like, what is happening? And so it's insanity, and it creates an insane environment, which when people are traumatized and insane, they're very easy to mind control.
Hmm.
It's much easier, and they know this, so they love inflicting trauma and all these little bits that add up. And that's you got to stand strong against that. And yet, it is true. It is truly a loss, and it is truly happening. So, and it's, I mean, I can't go visit certain people, family. I can't go see, people are going through that, right? You have funerals you can't go to. These things all hurt people.
Hmm.
And so we do have that. And then this is just another, I don't know, will they ever bring back that industry? I think, they say, oh, take a vaccine. Like, a lot of people take the vaccine because they're like, oh, I want to travel. Why do they jump into it for that? But they'll just jump into it. It's like, why don't you wait and see if it comes to that, and will it ever? Or is it just a trick to take it now and keep taking it? And you're not taking it to fly. Like, we're not going to let you do that again. How do we know that's not there?
Hmm. Okay.
Like, what's up with their plan, right? So it's stressful.
Totally
Mhm.
stressful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm on page with you there. I'm totally on page. I'm
Yeah.
really sad to
To
hear you
people's
lost
lives.
your.
Oh, we're just a trip, but I mean the rest of it, right? But yeah,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
trip is the least of issues, and it isn't even just a trip. You know what it is? It's a beautiful sea. It's beautiful ocean. It's the Caribbean. It's a beautiful people. There's a great, like, their country is doing so well because of tourism. So you just see all that crashing, right,
Mhm.
with the world taking that down. And yeah, our prayers have to be with all the people of this world.
Mm. All right, Lenny. I'm gonna let you go. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see if I could get Blunt News on. He says he
Perfect.
sent an article about private security and going to people's homes for COVID checks. So let's get him on the show here.
Sounds good.
Take
All
care,
right.
Lynn.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay. Bye.
That is Lenny Poo calling into the show. Let me get Blunt News. He sent me a link here. Let me just go ahead and open this. Oh, this is from one of our great appointed leader, from an appointed leader, a Canadian appointed leader. This person was not voted in. So let's see what. All right.
There'll be increased
Uh
security
huh.
um, contractors that would go and do more,
Contractors. Increase in contractors. So the government employees. Okay. Public sector.
I would say, door knocking on to check on people who are in quarantine. So that I think starts almost either today or tomorrow
What?
in Toronto, Montreal, broadening out to 35 cities, so that
Brought up to 25.
we can have an added layer of assurance that people are observing that quarantine in
Mm.
just in terms of compliance, but also
What?
know that there's an opportunity to engage and make sure they are safely quarantined.
What? Okay, let's get Blunt News on the let's get Blunt News on the show to explain what the hell that person is saying there. He declined my call, so we can't get him on the show. Let me see if he said he doesn't want to come on the show. Let me see if he said not, if he declined my call. Yeah, I just wanted to get him. Oh, he cannot take a call. No problem. Okay, let's move on. That was sent to us by Blunt News. So we'll decipher what this person is saying here, because I have no idea what that person is trying to tell us about going door to door with contractor companies to check and see if people are complying. Okay, wow. Woo! Woo! Lenny Pooh saying, woo! She's insane. Okay. All right. Let's get our man Mitch on the show here from Oregon and see what he has to say. It's not ringing. I'm not sure if he put his phone on silent or what the deal is.
Yeah.
Mitch, you there, buddy?
Yeah, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you this beautiful evening, this beautiful night, and Mike in the night?
All right, before I forget, I heard something funny the other day on a vlog that I think it was Portland. It might have been Seattle, but I think it was Portland, that Antifa and BLM people were gathered and they were rioting and doing their thing, and they started yelling at each other and calling each other racist.
Oh my God, the racist of the racists.
Yeah, the BLM was calling Antifa racist, and Antifa was calling BLM racist. And anyway, I thought that was funny. But before I forget, I wanted to make a recommendation to you on your house in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to put heavy metal roofing. I'm assuming you're going to do metal. That's
yes. We already ordered it in. The heavy metal roofing with the. It makes noise when it rains, but it's safe.
No, it's the noise. Actually, when you get used to it, it's actually quite pleasant.
It's a white noise. It's a good white noise.
When it downpours, you can't even hear yourself think, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not in the Philippines to think. I'm in the Philippines to relax, right?
Right, but about 7 years ago, I put the roof on my little place, and I used the thinnest metal that you could buy, and I had it primed with the red lead primer, and then painted. And anyway, it's already failing. Yet at the time, my father-in-law, I call him father-in-law. Anyway, he had an old, heavy metal roof on his house. It had been there for years, and it's still there, and he hasn't had any problems. And my thin one is already broke down. That's the one. The next thing I want to tell you is I went down to the post office because I've got a collection of 2 loonies, 1 loonie. I got a $5 bill and a bunch of quarters. I've got quite a bit of Canadian money, and I wanted to send it to you. And
you want to send it to me?
I went to the post office, and I said, how much to send a 1-pound package to Merritt, BC? And she told me it was a little over $20. And I said, well, hell, that's about what I would be sending. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it happens, dude. Let me tell you, I had someone beg me to ship something from my store to Michigan. And when I told him how much, he bought an item off me for $100 off my online store, and I said, "Dude, I don't ship stateside because our Canadian government is taxing me to death on the shipping." He's like, "Oh no, it's probably not that much." When I told him shipping was $87, he's like, "Okay, I'm okay." So,
by the way, speaking of this virus, this is a true story. It just happened. My friend, who I've known in the Philippines since 1979, his son with his young wife, who that's her only child. He's 13 years old. His name was Gino Mercado. A couple of days ago, he committed suicide in Bacolod City, in Negros Occidental. And according to the information that I have received, he had been out of school, because they've been locked down for about a year, and the the neighborhood. There were some bullies in the neighborhood. They'd been bullying him, and he was at a hard time in his life. A teenager. Puberty and all that, and he really longed to be back in school with his classmates and his friends in the more structured environment. Anyway, I think that, of course, you're always looking for a reason, when this guilt and everything, when somebody like your loved one commits suicide. But anyway, I think that if this hadn't been locked down, he'd still be alive today. I'm almost certain.
Yeah. And I heard more people are dying of starvation in the Philippines right now because of this COVID.
Yeah, my gal said that people are really getting tired of it. That they've borrowed all. You can hardly find anybody to borrow any money from because everybody doesn't have any. But she said that they're really getting tired of it there. And I said, they've got the MNLF, the MILF, the Abu Sayyaf, the Jamal Islama, the NPA. They've got all kinds of military organizations over there, and they might just cut loose. And they don't mess around over there if they get really unhappy. The average Filipino is the most easygoing, decent person you'll ever meet, and they don't like to get angry, and they're not aggressive. But if they feel very unjustified, they can be the most dangerous people you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And but that's happening not just in the Philippines, but there are like almost 110 million people on that small island nation, which all the islands combined, and of course most of them are uninhabitable too, has a size of about the size of New Mexico, just slightly bigger than Oregon. About the size of New Mexico, the entire country, and has 100. Like Oregon has like a little over 4 million people, right? And it's just a little bit smaller than all the Philippines, and the Philippines has almost 110 million. So it's very, very crowded place. So that's a recipe for an explosion when you get poverty, and then the government, Duterte was pretty popular, but I don't think that this is going down too well over there. And I'm surprised that he has gone along. I think there's international pressure on all these countries to do this. That's my opinion. To lock down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, because there's civil unrest, and the only way to lock people down is to obviously say that there's a pandemic and we're protecting you by keeping you in your house. Right? Okay, there's an article right here I want to throw up for you guys to see. Article scan. CNN's reporting that in Japan, more people died from suicide last month than from COVID in all of 2020, and women have been impacted the most.
Yeah, and anyone who has any common sense knows that these lockdowns do not work. And also the destruction that is taking place in businesses and personal wealth and income is going, and also all the social changes and the governmental changes and everything is going to have a negative impact on the entire planet for decades. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the thing is, I don't even know how to. It's very hard to kind of unpack this when you're trying to teach. Like when I'm trying to tell my kids that. There's a lot of BS going on. It's very hard to unpack it to them and kind of show them that our superiors or our news or whatever it is not telling us the truth, right? So yeah, they'll grow up knowing that, okay, maybe media is not real, all this is not real, this is all propaganda, but it's really hard to teach our children that, basically everything you're seeing around you is a lie.
Yeah, how would you like to be a combat veteran, and that had fought and sacrificed for your country, and to maybe have some PTSD, the trauma or some physical injuries, and then you ask yourself, what the hell was I fighting for? Mm-hmm. Now to get on to a current topic, I just watched a vlog about the Robin Hood and WSB, which is connected to Reddit, mm-hmm. the Wall Street Bets, organization, and what they were, what they've been doing, and how that they've grown. I think WSB started first around 2012, and then the next year Robinhood started, and they started real small, but last year, December 2019, Robinhood changed their format to where these poor millennials and Gen Xers and stuff like that could actually buy a portion of a share, and that even got more people in. And now there's millions on both of these apps, using both these apps to buy, and now they're communicating and getting together and attacking these big hedge funds who have shorted these companies.
Well, they're gonna if they short the company, and what they're doing is they're putting an attack on the company to fail. Right? When you short a company or you put a put, right, you're betting that that company is going to fail. So the Robinhood guys, or the people, whatever you want to call them, come in and start buying up that stock to drive up the price. And then those big bankers are going to have to cover those shorts.
All right, they put the short squeeze on them, and then they have to buy back the stocks at the new price, and they get killed.
Right.
And instead, they were planning on making a killing on, while they're essentially helping to destroy a business, which may or may not have already been failing, but they detect a weakness. So anyway, now the Robinhood and the WSB are doing the same thing to the hedge funds that the hedge funds have been doing to the companies and all the stockholders and all the people. But now these hedge funds have already gotten big bailouts and billions of dollars from their friends. And they've been contacting congressmen, reps or senators, even the White House, and getting them to do something about this, because it's unfair that they lose money.
Well, it's only fair that the banksters and the gold and silver and market manipulators get a slap on the wrist when they break the law. But when it's the small people banding together like little ants and actually making a change or ruining their party, guess what? Now they got to put policies in place to protect the big guys again.
Yeah, well, I've been watching Korean cinema for years, and in Korean cinema, they show what really goes on behind closed doors, all the way going back in time to when they had a different system until recently. And they show how these politicians will meet in secret, and business owners, and how they have set up slush funds, and how they do every kind of devious thing you could have possibly imagine, and they could care less about the people. I mean, care less. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought it was a little bit dramatic. Probably more than 10 years ago, I started watching Korean cinema, and I thought that it's kind of a little bit overkill, and that I have kind of a little bit of a trusting nature, and I don't get too excited, and I'm not too paranoid, but I'm getting more paranoid about people's motives these days because of what I have actually seen. Just open your eyes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I still trust people. Basically, when I just use my own judgment but the government officials. I think that I posted in the comments my theory about the levels of power. Mm-hmm. You've got the royalty is at the top, those are the people who own the banks, right? That's the royalty. You could include the Vatican, the royal family, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. These are the people. These are the royalty. Then you've got the nobility. The nobility is, could be new money, nuevo money, like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. All these, even Warren Buffett could be considered new money. These are the nobility, and then you've got the running dogs. The running dogs are the military, the intelligence agencies, the lobbyists. These are the running dogs who do all the grunt work for the nobility and the royalty, and they are the go-betweens, and they're the ones that control the politicians. The running dogs control the politicians. Now, the politicians are the fourth level down from the top. They are the parasites. This is all my own invention from reading, studying, watching numerous vlogs from all over the world, from all different sorts of people. So there's four levels before you get down to the people. And the politicians are at the fourth level, and they're predominantly just nothing but parasites. And even a politician who wants to do good could never do it. He would either be ostracized, or he would be pushed out, or he would be eliminated or threatened or whatever. The politicians can't do much. They just have to go along. Plus, most of them are narcissists, and they want to be in the club anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I don't think we have any hope for any positive. There'll be another cycle, Mike. There will be another cycle, but we're at a bad cycle. I don't like Harry Dent, but he talks about the 40-year cycle, the 90-year cycles. He's a cycles guy, and but we're in a major 90-year cycle for major blow up of war and economic destruction and social chaos, and we are in that. And if you look back on history, it seems to make sense. Everybody that is a cycles person, they point to all these times in history and how it's built up and how it's happened. And I don't think that we've eliminated these cycles.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's actually a very good perspective you brought on the scale, on a good scale, from the top, the hierarchy, right to basically to the peasant at the bottom. And that kind of explains, we're all serfs right now. We're all serfs, and we're going to die serfs. And I've accepted that a long time ago. And but that didn't mean to go run around streaking on the streets, streaking downtown. And it didn't mean going crazy and start, drinking my head off and go crazy. You know what I mean? But I understood, kind of played the game, followed, maybe dabbled a bit in the markets to kind of profit off some of the stupidity that they're doing. You know what I'm trying to say? And I do well in the market sometimes, and sometimes I do pretty poorly. But when I do well, I do well. But I do well because I'm following the stupidity, and not following, but kind of calling on their stupidity is what I'm doing. And
another guy, Gregory Mannarino, he writes for the Trends Journal for Gerald Celente, and I just listened to a Julius Maltby vlog, and he showed some article that some posts that Mannarino said. I didn't hear Mannarino say this, but Julius showed the writing, the post. I think they were emails or something. But Gregory Mannarino is threatening to just pull all his money out of the stock market and just quit trading altogether. He said
did. He did already.
Totally rigged.
He pulled right out. I heard he pulled out. He has no stock. He doesn't have a dog in the game anymore.
Yeah, and that was an important part of his life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. We can kind of point to, different aspects of the world that we feel pretty certain about, that we can see clearly, based on our education or our intuition or our experience. But I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen, because there's too many moving parts and there's too many things that can change. Just like Raven was talking about in the comment section, the people who run things can change the rules anytime they want.
Yes. Hold on. Do you remember a morning coffee I did, Mitch, like two mornings or 3 mornings ago, where I had the clip of a governor or somebody in the government sector in Alberta was saying on microphone, not hot mic, on and answering a question of saying, how come the gyms are open for government staff, and why are government traveling, and why is government? And he came out blatantly and said on the microphone that these COVID rules and these lockdowns and all these measures do not apply to government workers.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, that was 4 mornings ago. I have that. I might have to go dig that out.
With Mike. I usually follow it.
Huh?
I usually follow your coffee with Mike, but I did not see that one.
I played the video, and I kind of brought it back again for for people to hear it twice. That he basically said in the video that this COVID and this lockdown stuff does not apply to government or government workers or elected government officials. There's nothing to do with them. It's just for us.
You know what I find odd, Mike? You know, I once listened to a gal who was raised in Russia under the Soviet Union, and she came to America when she was a young lady, and she said what she found interesting when she came to America, because she had certain perceptions of what America was, and she thought Americans were more enlightened, better educated, smarter, et cetera, et cetera. And she said when she was growing up in Russia, she said everybody knew that everything on TV and in the newspapers was nothing but propaganda. It was all BS. And she said what surprised her, now this was some time ago, when she got to America, she said people believed everything. And she said she could see coming from Russia that there was a lot of bullshit going around. You know, this was years ago. Mm-hmm. And imagine how bad the bullshit is now. And there's still people that believe it. There's still people that believe that voting is important. We've been brainwashed and guilt tripped into believing that voting actually matters. Well, I told myself I was never going to vote again, and I did not vote in the midterm elections in 2018. I did not vote. It's the first time I didn't vote since I first got the right to vote. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't going to vote in this 2020 election, but I decided, we had a mail-in ballot, and the ballot was sitting there, and I had my all my voter information pamphlets to study and all that. And I finally decided, okay, I'm going to study and I'm going to vote one last time. And this time I am really done. I'm not going to vote anymore. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, Mitch, I'm going to let you go. It's been 20 minutes. We'll get someone else on the line and see what they're up to. I appreciate your support and being part of the channel.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you.
We'll check everybody in the comments. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mitch. That is Mitch Madden out of Oregon State, where the riots took place there. About an hour drive from his place. We got another headline here. Bitcoin might break down altogether. BIS head Karstens warns. Bitcoin surged 300% in 2020. Bitcoin is inherently risky, and only central banks should issue digital currencies, according to the Bank of International Settlements. Investors must be cognizant that Bitcoin may well break down altogether because the system becomes vulnerable to major attacks. I don't know about that, and it gets close to its maximum supply of 21 million coins. BIS General Manager Augustine Carton said in a speech for Hoover Institution on Wednesday. So there it is right there. So is Bitcoin going to break down? Is this man in this suit got it right? No, I don't know. And this other story here, I'm going to say it again. CNN in Japan, more people died from suicide last month than from COVID in all of 2020, and women have been impacted the most. I'm really saddened to hear that. I am so saddened to hear that. It breaks my heart to see what is going on here. So Alan Howick is saying, good info, Mitch. Yeah, and Mitch has got all kinds of info. He's everywhere when it comes. He's from the Philippines to Russia to all kinds, and he's got all kinds of information that's all relevant, and it's all good. I love Mitch, and when he comes on and gives us his little spiel on what's going on in the world and kind of playing off some of his life stories and playing it off into what's happening today and kind of doing comparisons. That's really good. Well, we got Elizabeth in the comments. Haven't seen her in ages. Hope she's doing well. Okay, let's move on. I want to get what's-his-face on. I hope... Where is he? There he is. Let me see if he picks up his Skype. Come on, Jacob, where are you? Come on, Jacob, where are you? He was in the comments, said he wanted to come on the show. I want to get him on the show because he could probably maybe explain to us what is happening with that whole... Anthony Ruvalcaba's on. wonder how he's doing. Look, who else is here? Let me know, Anthony, if you want to call into the show. Maybe we should get the Raven on to go full kook. I actually don't want to bug the Raven because if he's having a burrito, I'll be very upset at the burrito because he's going to be yelling at the burrito like he did last week and in his car, and people walking by and looking at Raven. Okay, trust, no, get a new caller. Okay, guys, who wants to call? Who's a new first-time caller? A first-time caller who hasn't called the show, wants to call the show first time. Oh, okay. Gino, let's get Gino on the show. He said he wants to talk about something specific for a few minutes. Nicholas is asking, has anyone ever bought the Mike Martin's leggings? Yep. Lots. See if Gino picks up here. Gino's not picking up. Okay, no worries. Gino wanted to talk a few minutes on the show, but he is not there. We spoke to Mitch. Who do we want to get on the show? Who did we want to get? I want to talk to Layla. I wonder if she's like, I know she is out and about, and I know she's traveling right now. And so I got a lot of messages here from Leaf. Holy crap. Sorry, Leaf. He sent me 88 messages of all kinds of stuff. Of the derivative bomb and all kinds of stuff that's happening. Yeah, we know that derivatives are a ticking time bomb. We talked about that a few years back in the show when we had Maneko 64 on the show. Raven, I'm right in the middle of trying a new Mike Martin's leggings, says Mike Banks. Okay, let's see if we could get... Who's on, man? Who wants to come on the show? Dano needs to come on the show. He wants to talk about something. Hey, Dano.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. Let me shut the other thing off there. You there?
Hey, I'm right here, buddy. Thank you, Dano, for coming on. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm okay. Let me shut the door. I'll be back in a second. Yeah. Got it? Okay, thanks, Hunter. All right, I'm back.
Nice. So good to see you.
Yeah, man. Before we go any further, Mike, I have to test your temperature. Oh, it doesn't look good.
What is it, 33.6?
Yes, I'm ready, Mike.
Okay, the Q-tips are ready. Are we doing the nasal one, or are we doing the one up the butt?
Well, whatever one you're more comfortable with.
I'd rather do the nasal one, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm safe today. I'm ready. So anyway, I had to do that.
Yeah, that was good. Let me get some laughing here on our do we have laughing on our soundboard? Yeah, we do. All right. Okay, so Dano, you seem pretty upset. You sent me quite a few messages on Instagram, and I could tell by the messages you're sending and the links you're sending me, you're getting really frustrated.
In some ways, yeah. You know, they keep changing their mind on opening the Huntington Beach kiosk. It's just been back and forth. So, and even if they do decide to open it next weekend, people, the traffic's not going to be there because people think it's going to be closed. You know what I mean? So it doesn't, unless there's an orchestrated effort to advertise that by the city and people get used to going there again, it's not gonna go anywhere. So they bundle it up so bad.
So people joining the show, this is Art by Dano. Dano has a kiosk in Huntington Beach, California area where he sells his art. He sells online on artbydano.net, and we do plug him all the time on the show. And he's one of us, and very conservative. And he left the downtown or the more downtownish area in where he was living in California and moved to a more suburban area because he
Yes.
was getting tired of the downtown California.
Yeah, well, last year was just a shit show, man. I say in the valley. So, well, we're not happy where we are in Camarillo now. But yeah, man, it's been quite a it's quite a crazy 2021, hasn't it? Like, I don't see this going away anytime soon. You know, the COVID, and I like the different strains of COVID.
Oh,
I
it's
think
Kent.
there's
It's Kent.
Oh, Kent, that's right. Is that a town or what is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it starts like this. I don't know, because you're old enough to understand this, Dano. It's Afghani freedom fighters.
Oh, that's right.
Then it's Al-Qaeda.
Oh, that's right.
Then it's Taliban.
And one more, right?
ISIL. Then ISIS.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's how it starts off. In 1982, it was the Afghani freedom fighters.
I know it was actually in the second Rambo, or no, the third Rambo movie. He was fighting on the Afghani side, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Rambo 3. So, so what's are you getting mixed feelings from people? I know you're not allowed to get out and about anymore, or go get out.
It's a little bit more relaxed here in the suburbs, but it's weird because I'll go to the park, the local park, and there's people at the playground with their kids, and some have no mask. The kids have no masks, and you know, they have smiles on their faces, most of them. But right next to them is a couple with kids that look like they're terrified, you know, bloody terrified with masks on, and even the kids have masks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ridiculous. There's like a dichotomy of some people are still terrified because all the propaganda is never ending. I mean, it's on the radio. There's ads on the radio and on Instagram all the time about how deadly this disease is.
It's like propaganda. Like it's constantly in your face, constantly reminder, constantly to let you know. And if you've ever watched the movie 1984 or read Big Brother's Watching You, I don't know if you've watched the movie, but the movie came out in the 80s from the George L. Orwell novel, and it's basically a constant reminder that we are protecting you.
Oh yeah, you never want safety. I mean, how can you live your life that way? Like I remember when I was, I think 9 years old, 10 years old, me and a buddy of mine, we got mad at our parents. We decided to run away from home. Mm-hmm. There was a bunch of woods like not too far from our house, and we got a pack to lunch, and we made it probably about half a mile into the woods, but we couldn't get any farther because the freeway was there. We couldn't get over the freeway, and those are the days where you could actually be gone for 4 or 5 hours. It's just to say you're playing with friends, and your parents wouldn't even think twice. So we got home, and my folks didn't even know that I ran away. Can you imagine doing that now at 9, 10 years old?
Oh no, it would be the end of the world.
You'd have the probably government surveillance now, and you'd have your COVID chip, whatever they have planned for us next, and but to keep you safe, right? That's what's important. Don't live your life anymore, but just be safe. You know.
So now, what do you think? I don't know if you saw earlier in the show that our appointed health minister for Canada was saying that they're going to go door to door with, I guess, like what do they call it? Police. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that is.
Papers, please. Papers. So they're going to go around to make sure people are.
I hope you're not Jewish when they come to your door, or is that? I mean, that's pretty much what that is. I mean, it's like that's Gestapo tactics.
It is very Gestapo tactics.
And you know, I mean, what the hell is that? I don't think that's gonna. I mean, people cannot let that stand.
In Canada, it probably will.
I don't. You think so? I mean,
in Canada, it probably will, because now, like Canada's rejoicing that now that what's his name? That guy that won the presidency there. What's his name?
You mean the he was installed by the theocracy?
Yeah, the president-elect. And even a lot of Canadians says, "Oh, I know that election was rigged, but they couldn't keep Trump in there. It doesn't matter if it was rigged." It's like people don't understand how democracy works, and that's a big issue.
Well, just tell them they have no more Keystone Pipeline in Alberta, but they also have no more mean tweets, because that's what's important. Mm-hmm. Mean tweets.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening,
But
but
you know what I'm saying? Like people, it's so superficial. People look at you judge a man by their actions, not by you know. So people get what's coming to them, I guess. I can't believe anybody can like that Biden because he's been in office. He's never had a real job in his life. He's been in office for 48 years.
Mhm.
What the hell has the guy done? He's basically gotten wealthy, him and his family, by being in the government, by being a bullshitting politician like all the rest of them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's the guy you want running your country. And he has business dealings. His son has business dealings, and his brother with Chinese companies and Ukraine companies. I mean, they're all a bunch of scammers. I think most of them in Congress anyway. But this is just blatant.
It's
And people,
totally
he's
blatant.
pretended to be a nice guy. Like here's the difference. Okay, I worked with many producers in my career, you know, in Hollywood, and some of the best producers were the guys who were blatant and in your face and just told you what to do in the production. They'd go like, "Damn, this is not gonna work. We got to do this. Get this shit done." And at first you go, "Oh, what a son of a bitch!" But then you realize this guy actually knows what the hell he's doing and knows how to get the production done and done on time. And they're honest. Oh, do you want this guy? Hi, Mike. I think that your show is just fantastic, and you're blah 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 blah. And then meanwhile, I'm stabbing you in the back.
Yeah,
So what
no,
do
I know
they
what you
want,
mean.
the nice guy like this, or do they want the you know the reality? So you know, it's.
You got perfect teeth, by the way. Smile.
Oh no, I don't. My teeth are not very good at all. They're not. They're kind of crooked, and I've been working in the yard today, so I'm all messy. That's why I have my hat to hide my
So-
goop of hair today.
Let me ask you: you gonna start doing some Star Wars or like
Oh,
Boba Fett?
I have to thank you. Mike has this great idea for me to do some Mandalorian and Yoda, Baby Yoda artwork, and I never did. I've never done any sci-fi artwork.
Well, that's too bad. You're gonna start.
And I'm gonna start, and I'm getting Mike his cut. It's only 90%, but he told me it's a good deal.
No, I get
Kidding.
no cut. No, but
No, it's a great idea, Mike. I'm
no,
glad
but
you-
I need you to. What I need you to do is you need to understand that you are touching 3 generations with Star Wars.
Yes, you're right. You're right. And Mandalorian actually is the best of all the new Star Wars. It really is well done. It's more. It feels more like the old ones because I always thought that Star Wars original movies were a western set in space. And they were simple, and that's why they were so cool. And the characters were endearing and fun and believable. Not what they turned it into. I don't know what the hell that is, right? But yeah, I'm gonna do the Mandalorian thing, man. You'll get print number 1. I'm gonna sign to you, man. Yeah. So, but it'll be a while. I'm pretty, you know, it's gonna be a few weeks, but I'm gonna do it, you know.
Do a couple of them. Do the scene where that robot came in before they got the baby and that robot was commissioned.
Oh yeah.
You could do that Western looking scene where he showed up and they're in this desert kind of with this like fortress, and that robot was going around and they teamed up together at the beginning.
That's a cool idea. I'll look
That Western look with that robot.
Yeah, well, I'll get a whole bunch of reference and then kind of go in my head, and after a beer, I'll come up with the answer, right? So
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, what do you think of all that stock debacle this year this week with the GameStop?
Well, those companies, those corporations that are that are basically shorting the little companies or even the medium-sized companies for failure, got a taste of their own medicine.
Yes, that's right. And I think there's gonna be more of this. Or they'll just try to shut everybody down that's not in their club.
They're
right?
going to stop. Yeah, they're going to try and stopping people from making money. Is that what they're going to do, right?
Yeah.
They coordinate to manipulate gold prices, silver prices,
we started.
spoofing markets, all kinds of Mickey Mouse, so they could line their pockets. But then when the little guy gets together, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah. I mean, the last time I dabbled in stocks when I had an E-Trade account, man, it was probably 20 years ago in the .com era, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, so I kind of like broke even. But I'm thinking of dabbling in, maybe dabbling in with it again. But I'm not very good with computers and stuff. Like I'd be the worst guy to ever do Bitcoin because I would bungle up all my private keys and all that. And I go, where the hell I just put my retirement? What was that key? I press the wrong key on it. You know what I mean? Like I have kind of a creative mind, kind of goes this way. It's very hard for me to deal with like the structured, X35 underscore, all that stuff, right? So that's what's kept me out of the whole Bitcoin thing too, because I'm kind of terrified of the mistakes I will make trying to handle it, right, and losing my money.
Yeah, you just got to be really careful. I mean, you do good art, and your art's great, and that's why I plug you all the time.
Shit so much, man.
And you should have a little when people place an order, ask them to like extra notes or promo code Mike in the Night.
Yeah, I talked to my web guy, and it's just a long story, man. But I'm gonna get on it, I promise you. It's just he moved to another town, unfortunately, and we do online anyways, but it's different. I'm so old school that way. I like to just sit down with people over a drink or a cup of coffee and make the plan, right? Look somebody in the eye. That's just the way I am, and all this stuff seems to get bungled over the. Anyway, I'm gonna get at it. You're right. I gotta get that out.
Promo code Mike in the Night.
Promo code Mike in the Night.
Yeah. Pick up some good handmade original artwork from our man.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have to. I want to let you know, just so I'm not misrepresenting myself. I do everything, by hand with the paint and Prismacolors and traditional illustration, but I do touch up stuff digitally at the end before it goes to print. So there is some digital tinkering at the end after it's already made organically, and everybody has to do that now because it's part of the whole process. So there is some digital work I do on top of my stuff.
Okay.
But it's pretty much organic. Yeah.
Good to hear. All right, Dano, I just wanted to have you on for a quick plug here. Give us
right.
And we'll talk very soon, I promise. And I'm pretty sure I'll hear from you on Instagram. And
and you will. And it's just been, like I said, a shit show here. And it's just like you said, so much stuff happens so fast. You don't know who the hell to believe or what the hell to believe. And sometimes it's best just to catch a wave,
You know what? It's more believe in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's why I just want governments to leave us the hell alone and let us live our life and run our businesses and be our entrepreneurs and get the hell out of our way and let us live our life. That's all we really want, don't we? I don't want to.
I would rather be under a monarchy and give them my 2 bags of grain every year or my 4 bags of rice and leave me the hell alone for the year.
Yeah, you're right. That might, or like I said, the honest, you get pulled over by the federale and here's your $50 and it all goes away, right? It's actually more honest than all the fines and the fees and the regulation and the letters you get in the mail from different government agencies.
I love letters.
Oh, yeah. Man, I got one the other day, just, State Board of Equalization,
State Board of Equalization? What is that? Hell does that even mean?
That's California business and income taxes. They cut the State Board of Equalization. I guess they want to make everybody poor. That's the equalization, right?
Yeah, of course you got to make everybody poor. That's their mission.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's like their mission accomplished here.
Yeah, man. It's like. Well. Is there another continent we can? We can't. Continents on the planet still.
We discussed this. We get a continent. We carve out our own little space. We build it up. We create a community. We create our own bartering and system. And then someone's going to come in and try and give us freedom. And and then bring in corporations there. And then
that's right. They're going to come in with the freedom.
Yeah, they're going to come in with the freedom and destroy us.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it?
It is. It is. All right, Dano, it's so good to speak to you. We'll talk very soon, my friend. I promise.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Mike.
God bless you, and stay cool. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
That is our man, Art by Dano. Don't forget to check him out, artbydano.net on our channel plug here. Let's do a quick channel plug, and we're gonna get to our next caller real quick here. Mike in the Night is here today. I should leave the singing to Ralphie, right? Ralphie is good. All right, let's start right here. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, be part of the channel. Guys, don't forget to set your reminders for next week's show, Market Wars. We're going to probably get Dominic back on the show to kind of lay out these market wars and where it's headed for all of us. And is there a chance for us to make some money? Next week, the week after, Mike in the Night, the digital soul. Who are you selling your soul to? Is it, who's selling or you selling your digital soul? What is happening? Guys, don't forget to shop Teespring. Yes, we got the Mike Martin's leggings, and I've sold a lot of them. A lot of women buy these, and they say they get compliments on them all the time, so don't make fun of my leggings. And this t-shirt's right here, guys. Everyone asks me, yo, where's that t-shirt you wear on your show, that purple one? Right here. It looks awesome. And the back looks like this. Look at this. It's got Mike in the Night up here, and it's got a girl down here. Really nice. City over here. It's all city. Really nice. Guys, don't forget to, if you'd like to, you don't have to. So we got Tio trying to call in. Yo, what's up?
How are you, Mr. Mike?
Good, good. Is this your first time calling?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I got you here as Toronto Corp.
Yeah, it's still Toronto.
Okay. How are you? Everything okay?
I'm good, but how are you doing?
Good, 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 good. So what's on your mind, buddy? What do you want to tell us?
Everybody better hang in there because it's not going to be good.
So what are you foreseeing? Tell us. What do you know?
It's, well, what do I know? I mean, we all know what everybody knows, but I mean, it's getting worse. It's not going to get better. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody better have cash at hand. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I don't know if you remember the crisis in Cyprus.
That's correct.
Or in Greece.
And
Okay.
and even in
It's
parts
coming at a theater near you.
Yep. Well, in Germany they even had like a little 2 weeks where they were only allowed to withdraw X amount of money. Okay.
Exactly.
And in Argentina, they weren't even allowed to convert their Argentinian peso into American dollars. They weren't allowed to.
Exactly. Coming at a theater near you, near Canada.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
it's bad. It's bad. It's not going to be good, Mike.
What city are you calling us from?
When somebody Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Okay, good.
Montreal.
So
when they pull a plug, let me tell you, lights are going to be out. I mean, it's blunt news knows what he's talking about. The rest of your viewers know what they're. Just prepare, man, because it's not going to be good, guys.
So
definitely not.
Let me ask you something. Lights out. Is that darkness over the internet where we can't communicate or know what the heck is going on? Or lights out as in like a electronic power grid? You know they could manufacture a power grid to go down and say it was an EMP when it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I usually don't say who I'm in bed with and who and my next move, but let me tell you, when you're in bed with these elites, not good, man. Not good. Mm-hmm. Trust me. It's I can't say much there, but yeah, when you're in bed with these guys, not good, Mike. Just hang in there, stay safe with your family, and for everybody, just keep cash at hand, man, because this is not going to be good.
Wait, is this Del Toronto?
You got it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't see Del Toronto because I tried to change it on my, but for some reason it's not changing there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I appreciate all the donations you've sent. So you are not allowed to
worries.
send donations until 2022.
It's okay. I signed up though, so you can't bar me from signing up. So
yeah,
I got that. What is that? Underboss? What's the last? Underboss, yes.
Yeah. So I set up my system for the to join the channel from. It starts with I think it's soldier, then captain, then consigliere, then underboss, right?
Yeah, very nice. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how are things in Montreal? Like, I mean, what's going on there? I know you guys are on lockdown. Have you guys, are there protests? And if they do have protests, are they labeling them as pro-Trump protests?
Nothing like Toronto. That's
Okay.
for sure. I mean, we have a little protest here and they just gather everybody up like little guinea pigs and boom, that's it. They give them their tickets and nothing like Toronto. Toronto is pretty crazy. When they gather up, they go in the thousands. Here, nothing. They're just little donkeys. You know, they just, it's okay. Mr. Legault is doing a good job. Yeah, not good.
And
not good. every day is suffering. Man, people are suffering. Oh my God. My God, this is bad. You know, it's not showing. It's not showing yet. But when this shows, oh boy, this is an earthquake coming. It's a tsunami, man, coming so slow. It's not funny. It's not funny at all, Mike.
Can I ask, are you prepared? Like, are you prepared? Like really prepared? So when the poop does hit the fan, you could bug out if you have to.
I could show you a screenshot of my bank account. I have $1.40 inside.
You have a who?
I have $1.40 in my bank account. If you want, I could send you a screenshot. If you don't believe me,
I believe you. I believe you.
$1.40. Yeah, everything's out. Everything's out. Either corporations, either gold, either silver, either a little bit of Bitcoin. Not much, but it's gold and silver for me, and cash. And yeah, that's everybody. Hang on, man, because it's like I said, it's not Montreal, it's not Canada, it's going to be US, it's going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to feel the tremble everywhere. Some more than others, but they're going to feel it, especially North America, pretty bad.
So do you see this more as like a great awakening or like a reset of some sorts?
Oh yeah, definitely. They know what they're doing. When you look at the population of how many people are scared and how many people are awake, you're looking at a 90 to 10. Not enough, Mike. Not enough to cause damage. 90. I see it every day. I go to Tim Hortons and get a coffee, and the guy's gonna tell me, stay 6 feet away. I said, listen, man, turn around, because it's not gonna be good. Turn around, okay? Don't look behind. Just turn around, man. Don't bother me. Mm-hmm. It's people they got such fear into people. It's not funny. It's really not funny.
And
so
I like how they actually organize this through the colder months of the year, so it's harder for people to get out and talk and get out and protest because it's colder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all calculated.
It's yeah, and this is people. I hear people, oh, don't worry, by spring, the summer, it's going to be. No, guys, you got it all backwards, man. There's nothing. You know what it's turned into, Mike? Okay, your parents are from Portugal, right?
Right.
Your parents came here to Canada for something better, right?
Right.
Well, guess what, my friend? The tables just turned. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. And do you know there's
now,
a mass...
We're looking to get out of here to go and look for somewhere better, because it ain't going to be Canada and it ain't going to be the U.S. It's not anymore the land of opportunity. Canada or U.S.
But then what country, like somebody asked...
Parents were doing. We are looking to leave. Well, I'll speak for myself. I'm setting up to leave. Okay, it's not a process of I'll be done in 30 days. Because don't forget, I'm not going to travel. There's nothing you're going to put up my butt, and there's nothing you're going to put up my nose, and there's nobody who's going to tell me I have to stay 3 days or 14 days in a hotel. No, you're not going to do it. So I'm doing it through lawyers who, nice and slow.
And if you don't mind me asking, I mean, are you looking more at, let's say, Europe? I know Iceland.
Exactly.
Iceland's a good destination.
No, Greek origin. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Am I looking for a job? No, but you know what? I'm gonna go somewhere where I could speak my language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mother tongue's language. Okay, where I feel comfortable, small, not in a big city. Because you know what? Even here, when they look at my name and it's 13 letters long, let me tell you, man, there's racism. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
The French are racists. Okay, so you know what? No, I'm going to go somewhere where I'm comfortable, somewhere small. Big cities are done, guys. Whoever's looking for a big city, get out now.
Mm-hmm.
They will be taken over. You will own nothing. And I don't know if you're going to be happy, but you will own nothing. I promise you.
But do you remember when I was making those videos 4 years ago? Get out of Sydney, get out of Toronto, get out of Vancouver.
Yes, exactly.
I did.
You were on the ball, man. On the ball. Dan, I saw your video today, your little short one there. 5 reasons to get out of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
On the ball. It's not what it used to be, man. Not when my parents came here in 1965.
Oh, when your parents came here, that was the golden era. That you could pack groceries at the grocery store and pay off a mortgage.
Exactly. Like I said, but oof, boy, The tables have turned 360 degrees. Yeah. Look at the Exodus.
Yeah,
Toronto.
I told you I have a friend that works at the Toronto. He works for 4 major airports. He doesn't work at the airports. He works for the government of Canada. And what he does is he actually records and reports on one-way tickets leaving Canada. And he told me a majority of people that are leaving the country are going to Greece, Portugal, Germany,
Exactly.
Iceland, Ireland.
Look what happened 2 weeks ago. The Prime Minister of Greece came out. He says, you know what? I don't know who thought lockdowns work, but lockdowns don't work.
Right.
As of Monday, everything open. This was 2 weeks ago. Everything open in Greece. Yes, you could wear your mask. You could keep your distance, social distance, yada, yada, yada. But no, he said it. Lockdowns don't work. Everything's open as of Monday.
And Portugal, a few months back, they said that the court ruled that lockdowns are immoral and against human life and against liberties. I don't know if you remember that, Mike, in the night I did.
Yeah. They don't want those little. That's a little speck on the map. They don't want that. They want Canada, 40 million people. They want U.S., 340 million people. They want Latin, South America, close to 500 million. They want population.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to to Portugal and Greece. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
For what? What are you going to do with that?
I understand.
Egypt,
it's easier,
London.
like you control the masses, yeah.
Sure. Come on.
You said you're going to go to the island of, in one of your comments, the island of Crete or the island?
Yep. That's where my parents are from. Largest island in Greece.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't a part of it under some sort of like?
No,
yeah.
we have an American base there, but nothing. No, all good, beautiful. Actually, one of the most beautiful. All of Greece. Let me not just brag about Crete. All of Greece is gorgeous. Okay, but Crete. I mean, when you speak to people about going to Crete, I mean, oh boy, they're like, really? You're from there? Yeah, gorgeous. From food, weather to beaches to name it, lifestyle. First of all, we were named one of the best Mediterranean cuisines in the world.
Oh, I believe it, especially the seafood and the
everything. I go to you go to the fish restaurant there and you tell the guy, what's on the menu today. Oh, he says you're gonna have to wait 20 minutes. What do you mean I'm gonna have to wait 20 minutes, man? You don't know what's on the menu? He says, no, look where? I'm looking at the ocean. He's pointing at the ocean. He says he's coming here in about 20 minutes. Okay, Whoa. This is not Costco frozen stuff. This is not. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Costco frozen stuff. I know you're waiting like in Portugal. When we're in Portugal,
at 50, Mike, I don't need no skyscrapers. I don't need no penthouses. I don't need no $40 million houses that you need a PA to reach somebody inside.
Yeah,
I don't need it. But a beautiful house in the island of Crete, Chania, done. Good, man. I'm good till the day I die.
Well, I'll come and visit for sure.
Sure. No, with pleasure.
Make sure you...
No wife, no kids, no dogs. I'm taking care of my mom. That's 82.
Good for you.
That's it, man. That's it's beautiful.
And
it's a great show, man. You stay humble there. You got a beautiful family.
Thank you.
And you deserve everything, but just stay humble, man. Stay the way you are. Don't change, Mike.
Oh, I have nothing to change for.
Only thing I do. I don't care if you win the 649 tomorrow morning. Don't change, man. Just stay that way. Money should change anybody.
Right. No, I have nothing. Look, I'm counting. If I got 22, maybe 23 good years left in my lifetime, I'll be very grateful for that.
Hard for you.
And be with my children and raise my children. And the doctor, I remember when I went to see the doctor about a year ago, he asked me, okay, so this and that, any plans or anything going forward? What's going on? He's like, well, everything's good. I just want to live long enough to see my kids graduate from high school. I don't want anything else. I just want to see, I want to live long enough to see my kids grow up. That's all I want in my life.
God bless you and your family. You will. Do not worry. Do not worry. Don't, that's, we got to look at what we eat. I mean, once I get up, I have two tablespoons of chia. I have a jar of Greek honey straight from Greece.
Nice.
4 cloves of garlic. I just cover them with the honey. That's, governments won't tell you that.
No, of course, governments won't tell you that.
Take the vaccine. You're going to be good. Take the vaccine. Yeah. Okay.
What was really nice? I remember 2 years ago, the Greek government, I remember it was the Greek, the Portuguese government, and I think it was the Spanish government were urging their people, this was 2 years ago, to keep at least 2 weeks to 4 weeks worth of food in their homes in case there's some sort of unexpected turn in events.
See, the thing with countries like in Greece, mind you, listen, I mean, you know, I had a, I'm a guy with, if you look at some of my best friends, I mean, I have a cop friend of mine, a black guy. I mean, this guy, he could see me anywhere in the street. He don't give a hoot about who's looking, who's not looking, pulls me over, gets out of the car, uniform. He's in a, over here in Quebec, we call it a section tactique. It's like semi-SWAT. Okay, the guy's right underneath SWAT.
Mm-hmm.
So they still look like, what do you call those warriors there?
Battle
that,
battalion,
you know,
like, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so he gets out, man. He hugs it. People are stopping, hugs me, kisses me, like race with me. It's, I have Syrian friends, I have Algerian friends, Tunisian friends, black friends, Chinese friends. I have people from every. This is where my I don't know if you want to call it power is. I mean, there's no. You're human with me. You respect me. You're with me. You disrespect me, trust me, my friend, I will disrespect you back. That I promise you, till the day I die. Okay? And that's how I am. So this is the good part about, you know, I'm speaking with Greece every day. It's like they have a guy next door with his lambs. They have the guy with the bees that makes the honey. They have the guy that's growing, I don't know, lettuces, or they have the guy. You see this little community that this is what I want, Mike. Okay? In my life right now. Like I said, no wife, no kids, no dogs. All I have is a 82-year-old mother and a sister. This is what I want right now in my life. Okay? I don't want no cities like my friend the other day calls me, hey, come over. What is it, man? Are you okay? Your family okay? Yeah, just come over. You know, he opens the garage. The guy bought a Bentley for some kind of Rolls Royce Spur. I don't know. I don't even know what it was.
It was a Phantom Ghost.
Yes, that's what it was. What are you kidding me? I said. Bro, look at it. Look at what? You spent $475,000 on this, I said? Yeah, bro, this is, you know, this is what? People look at you everywhere. So you want people to look at you?
Wow.
I don't get it.
475 large.
Oh my God, man. All black. Everything is black. I couldn't even see, if you see this in the dark, you won't even see it. It's like black. You know, like, there's not a piece of chrome on it. Wow. You know, it's like, bro, isn't it awesome? I said, yeah, you know, I don't want to judge anybody, you know, but I don't want to break his heart either. I saw how happy he was, you know, so I said, listen, man, does it make you happy? He says, yeah, bro. Okay, then I'm happy for you, man. You know.
Okay, here it is. Here, I have a photo of what the car looks like. Okay, so I got a photo. I'm going to show everybody what the car looks like. It looks like this. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is right there, people. Look at that. There's like the lights is the only thing that's not black on it.
Oh my God, man. It's like, you know, we're all crazy in our own way, Mike, okay? You're crazy in your way. I'm crazy. Whoever tells me they're normal, I just run, okay? Because nobody's normal to me. We're all crazy. We all have our little craziness inside us.
Right.
But, you know, that's what he wants. You know, and he changes cars every 3 months. He doesn't care what he's going to lose. He's worth about 300 M's, you know, so he doesn't care. But that's his, listen, I love cars too. But what I'm looking at for in life at 50 is, like I said, that little community where, you know, you'll go next door, where I'm not worried if I'm going to have toilet paper, Mike, and run to Costco, okay? I'm not worried about food because, you know, I mean, I have everybody telling, when are you coming? I said, guys, I got to plan things. This is not done in 15 days, okay? This is accounts. This is corporations. I got to set myself up before I go down there. Everything has to be legal. Everything, you know, there's no breaking laws. You do it the legal way, you know? And that's what it is, man. That's my plan. But, you know, just everybody, man, hang in there because this is not going to be good.
It's sad.
It's next month. It's sad how they ruined the world. Because let me tell you, Mike, I'm a very open person. I'm very social, okay, and I talk to people every day, and people just open their mouth and they just puke everything out, man. They just let it go. It's like, oof, my heart is, just the other day I met a woman, okay? Beautiful woman. Beautiful. When I say beautiful now, I'm not talking attractive. She was attractive, but beautiful woman on the inside.
Right.
She says, do you know where I work? I said, no. She goes, the RBC. I said, Royal Bank of Canada. Oh, that's nice. I said, how is it? How's everything? She's just looking at me, not answering. Oh, you want to talk? She goes, Stella, you know how bad this is? Oh, I know. I said, do you know how bad it is? Yeah, she goes, I do, because every single employee in the Royal Bank they assigned a psychologist to them. I said, come again? Yeah. Yeah, you have no choice. You can't say, I don't want one. You take one or you walk out the door.
What? They're forcing psychiatry on people?
Yeah. I said, okay, listen, I'm a little stupid. I said, could you back up, rewind? Why? I'll give you an example of a phone call I had today. I said, what's the example? A gentleman called me. He had a little restaurant. He lost his restaurant. He lost his wife because he lost everything. Not that she died. She left. She left him. Credit cards are maxed. He called me up, still, to tell me, is there anything he could do? Because he got an email. Now, again, don't rush and judge him, because when people are vulnerable, they will try anything. Okay? I've learned that in my life. Don't rush and judge. What an idiot. Let's not judge people.
Right.
He got an email that he won. You see where this is going?
Mm-hmm.
He won some jackpot, whatever. Send us this money, or give us your account, we'll put the money in, something like that, somewhere in those lines. He gave his checking account. All he had was in his account was $1,500, Mike. Guess what's in the account now?
$3.
Zero. She says, Steve, Stell, if he did that on his credit card, I would have did something. I would have. There was something I could do. He did it in his checking account. There's nothing I could do. He gave his checking account. The man was so beautiful. What a no screaming. He understood me, and he says, "I understand. Don't worry. I just want to ask you for one favor. Is there any could you put $20, $30 in my account, because I haven't eaten in 2 days?" My friend, she says, I put the call on hold. I mean, I'm saying it and I'm tearing. She put the call on hold. She had to cry. Now you know why we all have psychologists? Every single Friday, the psychologists are there, and they're talking to everybody minimum an hour. Do you know how fast you could lose it in this job? She says to me that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just listening. I'm listening very.
No. I know. So this is just one little case that I told you. We could be on the phone, my friend, till 6 a.m. of what I hear every day, because of my character, my being social with everybody. I'll talk to anybody. It could be the garbage truck that passes by the street. Hey guys, good morning. I don't care who you are, man. You're human to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's not money. I have a soul. It'll never change me.
Right.
Okay? So everybody to me, I mean, the other day I'm coming out of my house. I see this, just me and this little black lady coming and huffing and puffing, and the mask is up to her eyes.
Oh, it's even worse when people wear glasses. It fogs up.
Yeah. So you know what? I said, I'm going to wait for her to just come up. And I saw her, and I stayed that 6 feet away. I said, stop. I'm telling her all this now in French. She's huffing and puffing. I said, why are you wearing the mask? Out here, out in the street, why are you wearing the mask? I said. You know how you talk to a little dog and the dog just looks at you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever talked to a little dog or a little kitten and it's just looking at you, and obviously they can't talk.
Right.
Well, that's how she was looking at me, like a little lost dog.
Really? Yeah.
I said, sweetheart, God gave us oxygen, okay? This fresh air out here to breathe. But, no, there's no but. Listen to me before you say but. You are outside. No coronavirus is going to jump from the sky, I said, and come into your mouth or into your nose. Number one. Number two, put the mask down. She just puts the mask down. She just listened to me, and she says to me, are you serious? Do I look like I'm joking? I said to her. You know, I'm talking about a little black lady, 65 years old. 65, 70 years old, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
The lady couldn't breathe, Mike. She could not breathe. Walking, huffing and puffing on the sidewalk because these people put the fear into people that you're going to get that coronavirus and it's going to jump on you like you're going to get raped or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, man. It's sometimes I'm driving alone and I'm you know, tears come to my eyes, man. I don't know how people could do this to society, man.
I'm really.
How you could do this?
I still can't believe the people driving their vehicles wearing a mask while driving inside a car with a cabin air filter in the car.
Yeah, alone. You know what? I've seen some with 3, 4 people. Okay, that's fine. Maybe that's not your family. Maybe it's others. Okay, I got it. But alone?
Yeah.
Alone? Closed windows? Closed everything? And you're wearing a mask up to your eyes? Are you kidding me? Do you know what they did to us? This is not... Listen, man, I believe in God.
So
But right now, this is our punishment. This is not repairable, bud. This is not tomorrow morning. Yeah, if God wants, he could step in, he could change things in seconds. This is our punishment, man. But what these guys did to society, this is not good, man. This is, you know, we talk markets, let's talk everything, guys, the whole picture, because this is not good. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. Did you see that video I played earlier about our appointed health minister? I don't know what credential.
Yes.
I don't even know anything about her.
Yes.
Saying that they're going to have this door knocking and checking to make sure people are being compliant.
Yeah, you could come and knock on my door if you want. That's my door. I don't know about anybody else's, but you could come and knock on mine. There's no way you're gonna touch my family. No, my friend. Till death do us part. I will fight to the end. You're not putting no vaccine inside me. You're not putting no. I have videos I could show you. I just got it from Israel. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
They're planning those nanoparticles already by putting that swab into your brain. You're getting vaccinated, my friend, already. I showed that to a nurse. She goes, I said, do you know these terms? Oh my God, she goes to me. I'm like, full force, I have the chip. I must have gotten tested 40 times. Okay. So I'm not that crazy after all, right? Yeah, this is our plan, man. Good luck in changing it. Unless some big heads just flip and say, no, this is not it. This can't be done. Well, look at what you did the other day when you posted about Merck. Remember?
Mm-hmm. I posted. What was the video about?
Merck and Frost stopped the news there that you do every coffee with Mike in the morning.
Yeah.
Merck stopped making the vaccine, and they're saying that we're better off getting it than recovering.
Exactly. A herd immunity. Everyone gets it. It's safer, and instead of injecting yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a couple of more, and I mean a couple of more of those. I mean, it's no, this is not just stock market. This is, we have the SAC over here. The SAC is the Sûreté Alcool de Québec, the like the LCBO in we sell the liquor. The liquor
right.
from
Organized Liquor Regulation.
1st, exactly. From June 1st till October 1st, doubled in sales.
And suicides. Suicides are up.
SQDC, we have it over here. It's called SQDC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, same thing, doubled in sales from June 1st to the 1st of October. Suicides up 90%. Okay, we're talking now. You know how many people, and I'm not talking homeless. I'm talking normal people dressed normal. You're walking down the street and they flipped already. Not the homeless, Mike. That's another story, the homeless.
Mhm.
I'm talking about regular people, normal people dressed nice, talking, screaming in the middle of the street, looking up in the sky, just making sign language. I don't know what sign language, who they're talking to, who they're telling off, who they're. Do you know where this is going to get to, my friend? You think we've begun? No, we haven't even begun yet. Okay, so this is like everybody stay strong and stay prepared. You want to take toilet paper at home, take toilet paper. Have water, have food, have dry goods. You know, they're going to keep on going, man. They're not letting go. They're not letting go, man. This is the perfect plan.
You know, I kind of want to bring something up. A few months, like 7-8 months ago, there was an article that was up that was saying that in Canada, that people who stock food and water and stuff are considered like homegrown terrorists.
Really? I
Yep.
never saw that.
Yeah, they are. You can look it up. The article where stocking food is now
No,
considered.
I believe you. For sure, I believe you.
It's scary because they're and do you think, Stel? Do you think that the problem stems? It's not really the governance; it's the actual media spinning the government
Oh yeah,
narrative.
yeah. They're in bed together. Come on. Listen, if you're in bed with your wife, you guys are going to talk about the same things. Your wife's not going to go east, and you're going to go west.
Right.
So they're in the same bed. Media and government. The only ones that are not in bed, they're not in bed with, is Rebel News.
And Mike Martins.
Oh my God, and Mike Martins. But I mean, Rebel. They just lay it out. They're following everybody. They will spill the beans on you. They don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're good. They're good. Ezra there, he's good.
They do a good job. They really support the
everybody. And what they're doing with the lawyers there and support, amazing job.
Did you see the video they did about the churches?
Yeah. And you know, I mean, look, just the other day we had I was passing by an area and listen, I've, you know, like I said, with my cop friends there, I've been with them on duty. You know, it's something I always loved. You know, I always wanted to be a cop. So I didn't become a cop, but let me tell you, I met a whole lot of them. And we became very good friends, obviously. They know me. I'm not a criminal, yada, yada, yada. So the other, you know, I've been with them so many times. Yeah, we've been to scenes, you know, 10 cars, 20 cars. The other day, I'm passing by somewhere. It's like blocked everywhere. I'm looking and I'm counting. I couldn't stop counting. I call up my friend. I said, listen, man, I'm in this area. He says, yeah. I said, listen, we've been together. We've been to a lot of, you know, calls. We've been to a lot of scenes. I've never seen 200 cop cars, SWAT, dogs, identification vans. Everything was here. Every single station was there. He says, Stel, give me a second, man. Give me 2 minutes. I'll call you back. I'll tell you what it could be. It's something with a cop. I said, what do you mean? He says, something happened with a cop. This is not a regular person. There's a cop hurt. Okay, give me a call back. Gives me a call back. Guess what happened? This guy pulled over an Uber driver. The Uber driver, I don't know what happened. They had an altercation. He got out. He hit the cop with something. Was it a bat? Was it his fist? I don't know. Okay, they had an altercation. The cop got dazzled. What does the Uber driver do? Grabs a hold of the cop's gun. As that happened, the cop starts running for cover, and he shoots the cop. Now, you know, if this is snapping, Mike. This is people snapping. If you haven't seen snapping, I mean, you're talking about an Uber driver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy just ruined his career or whatever. But could you imagine what this guy went through for a cop to pull him over? And okay, so I'm telling you, man, it's just going to be. I'm far from a negative person.
Tens of thousands of people on a regular basis snapping is not a good thing.
No, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. This is why you are nice where you are, in a little town where there's 8,000 people and not 8 million people like Montreal, Quebec.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, or Toronto. You know, I mean,
Well,
I hate to
Toronto's
be in
seeing a
Toronto.
mass exodus of youth or young families moving up to Quebec because they can't afford to live in Toronto anymore. And, you know, we've been talking about this for years, but the mass exodus is going to continue. And then parts of even Prince Edward Island are seeing an uptick in sales, and parts of Nova Scotia, parts, even a mass exodus to America. Like everyone
Everywhere
is.
it's quiet. Everybody wants quiet. They don't want this disaster, man. They want peace. People want peace. This is disaster, man. This is, look at this. We have lockdown from 8 to 5 a.m. You know, I mean, yeah, and, you know, you give these cops a little power, and, you know, I met a doctor the other day. He says, Stell, man, I can't believe it. What can't you believe? He says, they nailed me, $1,550. So what are you talking about? You're a doctor. He says, yeah, he looked. My shift starts from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. The guy says, why are you out at 7? Well, hello, I don't have a car. How am I going to get to work? No. You're supposed to be out from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. The cop gave him the ticket. A doctor, Mike.
On his way to work.
On his way to work. Because he left earlier to get to work for 8. Does that make sense to you?
No, I think we actually covered that. It was in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that. I think last mic or the mic in the night before when the curfew was put in. That's oh my god, curfew.
Are you kidding me? But you see how everything. Then you wonder why an Uber driver snapped and he grabbed the guy's. God knows now what happened to that altercation. The guy, Uber drivers, are not making nothing. There's no bars, there's no clubs, there's no people going downtown working. 90%, 95% of the population is working from home. There's no planes coming in. There's no tourists. There's no Grand Prix. There's no Osheaga. There's nothing, bud. There's nothing, Mike.
I know.
So these, I talk to Uber drivers. I talk to Uber Eats drivers. It's like, you know, you could be I could be in a Tim Hortons, and, you know, you see them. They walk in and they show their phone there, and Uber Eats, you know, guys, how's it going? Oh, my friend, not good. You know, like I'm telling you, I'm not open. I'll talk to anybody, man. I don't give a shit who you are. You know, so yeah. I talk to them. It's like, this is not good, man. So the guy has his car. He has his gas. You know, they don't all have Teslas there. You'll see one Uber that's a Tesla, but the rest are running on gas, my friend. So these people are suffering now.
And car insurance and this and that.
Exactly. And he's pulling you over and he's going to tell you, I got it 2 weeks ago. Pulled me over. I said, hey, how are you, officer? Good. He says, what color was that light back there? I said, yellow. He goes to me, a little bit of both. Okay. I said, well, I didn't want to slam my brakes, so I went through the yellow. Takes my license, registration, goes in his car, comes back. Yeah, he says, you're a nice guy. He says, I'm going to give you a yellow. $171, no points. What an amazing guy. Little punk, 22 years old, greased back hair. He just probably became a cop. And he thinks he's, I don't know, some Don Juan or some hero. He gave me a $171 ticket. Yeah, and that's probably more than what you make a week, my friend. But anyways, you know what? Through my friends, I've learned, keep your mouth shut. Don't argue with these guys. They're on a power trip. That's it.
Do you remember last mic in the night? I think it was this last one or the one before. We had that guy. I showed the clip of that parking lot attendant in the movie Fargo. Yeah. Do you remember that? And the guy, your clip-on tie and your authority figure.
Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what it is. You know, absolute power is corrupt. Absolutely, that's what it comes down to. Politicians, police, agents, government agents, call it what you want. All these guys, you know, they're all tough until somebody gets, you know, their head broken, and then oh, we gotta find this guy. Yeah, you gotta find him. No, you gotta change your laws first, man. Because when now it's quiet, but when people don't have food on their table, and when people can't pay rent, and when people are losing their cars, and when people are losing their houses, Mike, this is not going to be good, man. Not everybody could stay insane. Everybody's different. Some are weak, some are not, some are strong, everybody's different, man. And let me tell you, a lot of people are weak out there. There's more weak than strong, you know? So, I don't know, man. Hang on, everybody, because this is going to be a roller coaster and a half.
Let me ask you this one, and I've asked this to a lot of people, and I'm trying to figure this out. How is the public sector going to be funded if there's no private sector paying taxes towards towards funding the government corporate expenditures or for cities and stuff. How are they going to keep it going if there's no private sector paying their taxes?
They're not. It's going to be another mess. Why you think you're going to get a pension? Is that what you think?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not even going that far. I'm just talking about how are the buses going to run? How are the ambulance?
They're not. Already, it's a mess. It's a mess. They cut our buses here. They cut the bus. The buses are always, people are freaking. Now it's like minus 30. There's no buses. They cut them on the weekends. They cut drivers. I met drivers. They cut drivers. So it's just, like I tell you, man, it's going to be a domino effect. One domino is just going to take down everything. One shot. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is where I say, hang on, man, because this is not going to be good. You know, then you meet that little computer yuppie that works at the, this computer company, AI, and he thinks he's God. Oh, no, it's going to be okay, sir. Really? I don't know what planet you came on, man, but, right now I'm looking at, how old are you? 23? Yeah, young, dumb, and full of cum.
Mm-hmm. Piss and vinegar.
Yeah, okay. So, you think that all this is going to be good? Yeah, sir, AI is going to be good. Really? Is that what you think? Come and talk to me in 20 years, buddy. You show me how good AI is going to be. Okay, when you're going to have that little chip and you're going to be like a little robot running around, and they could turn you off at any time. You know those movies you were watching with Will Smith and everything? Yeah. Wait.
They were predicting. They were predicting.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that one with what's that movie with what's his name there? Harrison Ford. He made in the early 80s where they were programming people.
I don't remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
That was a very famous movie from 1981 and 1980, and that movie was really good because it actually showed how humans were being programmed and how they were programming robots to be humans and AI into
That's right.
Into basically being integrated into society if they could catch them to see if they're real or fake.
Yeah, it's very sad, Mike, what we've come to. I never thought I would see this in my life.
Me too.
Honestly,
I've never thought either.
Have you ever been in a fight, sucker punched from the back?
A few times,
This is how I got. Yeah, I've gotten it too. Don't worry about that. I've been to so many fights. I'm surprised I don't have a criminal record, but I got sucker punched. This was right behind me, man. I didn't even see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not too many people saw it coming, but yeah, this was a sucker punch. Never expected this.
Yep. The movie's called Blade Runner, by the way.
Was it Blade Runner?
Blade Runner, yep, with Harrison Ford and in trying to track down certain. I don't want to spoil the movie. Watch it. It's called Blade Runner. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I could recommend another movie, I think you've already saw it because I've recommended it many times. It's called Silence.
Oh yeah, that one I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, about the Portuguese missionaries in Japan.
Yeah. But Blade Runner, never. No, I don't remember that one.
Oh, you got to watch Blade Runner because you're talking about it right now.
Yeah. It's wow, man. I don't know. I'm getting phone calls from friends. Greek. I mean, out of 100 Greek friends that I have, 99 are with restaurants. 50 have closed them. Steve, I can't. All right. I can't. I said, we're not getting help from anybody. I said, the government. What are you kidding me? He says, they stopped last September. You know what they gave me? Crumbs. How am I going to pay $10,000 downtown? By takeout?
You're not going to pay money.
No. I just shut my mouth. There's not much I could say. I mean, no, obviously, he had no choice. Bankrupt. And how many stores? I'm on the road all day. I'm not sitting in an office. Don't think I'm in an office. I'm on the road all day. How many restaurants? I was born and raised here, don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
In Montreal. Went a bit in Toronto. Yo vivo en Panama 3 años.
Oh, Panama en 3 años. Okay, you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I lived there for 3 years. I did my business there with a couple of my friends, the Jewish friends. They invited me for a business opportunity, so I went there.
Did you see my Spanish live show?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I have a Spanish channel on YouTube.
Yeah. I saw you promote it. Not promote it, say it on your channel, but yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna have a look at it. But I mean, Panama was better than here right now. Panama is better than here right now.
Anywhere, I think even some secluded parts of Venezuela is good.
Exactly. This is how bad it is. I mean, it's people losing jobs every day. See, we're not like the U.S. In the U.S., every Thursday they announce how many people lost their job: 800,000, 875,000, 950,000, 900,000. Do you hear anything about Canada? No. Once in a blue moon, we're up 10.5%, 11%, 8.5%. See, but you don't hear the hundreds of thousands losing their job.
Do you remember just before COVID, they announced just before the election, they were announcing all over the place that Canada created 40,000 jobs, and there was 40 jobs added.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were all public sector jobs, not private.
No kidding. The truth, you'll never get the truth. From media, you will never get the truth, Mike. It's either you're out there and you better be awake. Okay, you better be awake, like most of your viewers here that are on, a lot of them are awake, and they're, either it's stock market, either it's in a lot of things. Okay, either it's in religion, either it's whatever. I listen to Lenny Poo, Layla, Blunt News. They're all amazing. All Elvis Lives. I'm telling you, the list goes on. Everybody's
What
amazing,
about the Raven?
Okay? Oh, Raven nutcase. I love him. I love him. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I forgot about him. Thank you for reminding me. But like I said, there's so many I look at, and he's a very cool guy, man. I like him.
He was shouting at his burrito the other day at Taco Time.
I know. I heard it. He's like, "Sorry, Mike. Okay, I'll calm down." That's good, man. It's good to be excited like that. It's good to see the spirit in people like that, Mike. When you're looking at everybody writing in the comments, it's nice. And you know what? Small is nice. I could be in a lot of huge forums, Mike. No, not the Palamem shows. Okay, it's not the same. It's not the same. Stay small, bud. You're good. Beautiful family, beautiful show, beautiful business you have. Keep going, man. Don't let down. You have your viewers and an amazing crowd. You don't need 400,000 people there.
No. And then we become a target, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
no kidding. No. I mean, if there's one subscriber I have, is the Money GPS. Okay. If there's one guy you really want to watch financials, and the guy says it the way it is, okay, is the Money GPS. David Quinteri. I mean, the guy's good. There's a lot of channels out there. I know. I'm telling you one that I watched. He's in Toronto, and the guy is amazing. You want to hear truth and no BS? He's the guy to hear it from.
That's good.
And if
Money
you can't handle
GPS.
the truth,
I know of that channel.
Okay, if you can't handle the truth, don't listen to him.
You know who one of my favorites is Gerald Salente.
That's another nutcase. Yeah, 74-year-old nutcase.
But watch his last video from yesterday. Watch the first 5 minutes.
I saw it. Yeah, he gave the finger there. Yeah. I see them all. I'm subscribed to him too. Amazing, the guy.
Yeah.
See, he says it the way it is. He doesn't care if he gets censored or not. He says it the way it is. Here, take the fingers, both of you. I love him. That's how many people like that, Mike?
Not many.
How many people like that are going to say the truth? No, everybody watches what they say because YouTube is going to censor us. They're going to shut us down. They're going to do this. Okay, well,
I know.
Well, it's just hang on, man. That's it. Just be prepared and ease up, and that's whatever it is, it is. And you know what? If the guy on top of you if you believe in him and he's going to have his hand on top of you, my friend, I ain't afraid of nobody and nothing. Nobody and nothing. And I'm telling you that, Mike, I don't care what religion you are, okay? I have Muslims. I respect everybody. For me, there's one thing. He's called God. Forget the Virgin Mary. I'm talking about God right now, okay? When he has his hand on top of us, you do not worry about nothing. You think he's not there. He's there.
Oh, again, silence.
I promise you, he's there. Don't think he's going to come and tell you, hey, Mike, yeah, man, you called me? No, It doesn't work that way.
No.
If that's what people think. Okay? And yeah, he's the one who created the devil. Okay?
Mhm.
So he's on top of us, man. Do not worry. Do not worry. Help as much as you can out there. Everybody help each other, and that's it, man. You know, there's times also I could get those squeegee guys. I'm sitting at a light, and the guy comes in. Listen, man, don't come and clean my window, because you know what? I do 3 hours of driving. If you're I need $200 just in giving you guys a loony at every light.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's not what I'm talking. There's people that really need help out there. It could be a meal. It could be, you know, a guy came to me the other day. So, sir, I don't want money. What do you want, man? Well, why are you coming to me? Just get me something to eat, please. Okay, that with pleasure, man. I'll
Mhm.
get you something. Don't come and tell me I need $5. Or I
I've
need
done
20
that
bucks.
many
Don't-
times where I'm in, like, when I was in downtown Vancouver,
Yeah.
I'd have people ask me to buy them food a lot.
But that's okay. For me, that's okay, Mike. I'll do it 10 times a day. I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're sitting at the light and, you know, you're holding beers and I see your beers are covered in the corner, and don't. I'm not going to feed your habits, bud.
Mhm.
Okay? You're a hungry man. With pleasure, come with me. I'll full meal, man. I'll give you. I don't mind that. You know, but this is where I'm telling you, people need help. I'm seeing it every day, Mike. It's not funny, man. I pray to God this stops. I don't see it stopping, but I'm just praying that it stops.
Mhm.
Because they're getting worse. You know, Lego is supposed to speak on Tuesday. How, you know, he's not going to open on February 8th like he promised. Oh, we have to extend. Yeah, the cases are down, but we have to extend. I don't get it, man. I'm stupid. The cases are down, but you have to extend it. Why?
Well, they're going into the fourth or fifth wave in Australia. They're going through the third or fourth wave in other. What was it? What was that article I was reading? They're going into the fourth wave in California.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Did
like
you hear about
this
the
is going to
UK?
go on forever. Now, what
The
is it
UK
called? Kent strain?
The variant, now the UK is locked down until September.
Is it Kent variant or?
I heard variant.
Okay, because and then let's go back. Let's backtrack through history here. It started with the Afghani freedom fighters in 1982. Then it became Al Qaeda. Then it became ISIL. Then it became ISIS. And then you know they're keeping the story, or they're keeping the boogeyman there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is. I'm telling you, man. This is just going to change society completely. It changed with 9/11, if you remember.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Patriot Act was signed in, and that destroyed.
The world changed. Sorry, the world changed with 9/11. So this is the next change, Mike. This is the next change. COVID. I close my radio. I can't open my radio anymore. Guys, stay inside. Stay from 8 a.m. the curfew to 5 a.m. Stay safe with COVID. COVID. Only deaths of COVID. There's no heart attacks. There's no people dying from cancer.
And there's a guy that died in a motorcycle accident in Florida, and he was labeled COVID.
That's right. Yeah, COVID. Everything's COVID. I had one of my cousins in Greece. I called her. Her cousin died. Says, "Could you please sign the paper that he died from COVID?" She goes, "Excuse me? Could you sign the paper that he died from?" No, I'm not signing no paper. He didn't die from COVID. Why should I sign the paper? Oh, because it's better. What's better? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You see the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. She was awake, but the rest will sign.
Big Rob New Zealand is saying COVID is the perfect virus. It will never stop mutating. Back in the 80s, it was a carbon crisis. Then it was global warming, and Florida will be underwater in 2007. And then it became climate change. So they named it in a way where you can't dispute the climate is changing.
That's right. That's right. You said it, Mike. You said it, my friend. This is going to be, wow.
Yeah. Well, Stell, I appreciate you coming in and gracing us with your presence and giving us an update. And I really appreciate all the super chats you sent me. And,
my pleasure, bud.
I really
Don't
appreciate
bar me anymore.
I'm actually my computer's not working well, so I'm gonna take it in and getting you fans making noise and get a few things done with that money there.
Go for it, bud. No worries. No worries. I wish you all the best, Mike. Stay safe. And,
yeah, we'll stay in touch. God bless you, eh?
You got it. Thank you.
Thank
you too.
Bye.
Take care.
That is Stell. Oh, yeah. And I will add Estelle to our favorites here on the show. We got Tristan in the comments here. And who else do we got here? Who is commenting? There's a lot of people sending me Skype messages. The comments are on fire right now. Guys, you are tuned in to Mike in the Night. Thank you so much. Adding to favorites, Stell. Stell is now part of the favorites here. Who else do we got here? Haystacks Tommy wants to call in. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what Haystacks Tommy. We'll give him 10 minutes because I'm going to do a solo video with him. And we're going to be discussing... Tommy, you there? Tommy? Tommy? Oh. Let me see. We'll try calling him again. Give me a second here. There it goes. Yo, Tommy, what's up, buddy?
Fine, yeah.
All right, lower your side there so we could hear you properly. Okay, Tommy, we're gonna do a solo video together sometime next week. I'm gonna see if I could get some time. When you get some time, we'll do a video on why top 5 reason you should not move to Australia. Okay, we'll do that with you. So get your 5 points.
10 reasons why I want to leave Sydney, like 2 separate videos, but they will be short. They'll be like 10 minutes and 20 minutes. They won't be too long.
Yeah, they can't be too long because people have to... Thank you, Ralphie Cole, New Zealand, for sending me $5 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us. What's on your mind? You wanted to call in? Tell us.
Yeah, I was about to do the 5 reasons, but I'll do that another time.
Yeah, I want to do that on one video, so we could... yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pre-record
really
it, and then I'll upload it as a single video, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I haven't been up to much. I've been watching your replays of Mike in the Night, so I'll just read it out loud. So I've watched Is Marriage Dead? I've watched Empty Storefront, Money Laundering.
I love money
car
laundering.
loans, Big Brother, Destabilize the West. I'm almost finished off the Death of the Pension. I'm watching you and interviewing Raven. It's pretty interesting, like in Death of the Pension. It was back in 2019 June. You did the Mike in the Night like ages ago. I've watched The Secret, Police State, World Unrest, and these are like the 20 Mike in the Night replays that I'm gonna watch. I still have to watch Event That Changed Humanity, Top 10. Fake Economy, Dark Side, Build Wealth, Dead End Career, Get Me Out of Debt, Off Grid, Pollution Control, and Food Shortage. I still have to watch those. I've been watching like a lot of your replays.
Wow.
And I'm up to the 37th video. So you're making I left the big city. I've watched 37 videos. I've just finished the one that your wife got the driver's license. It's pretty good.
You see why I left the big city? Does it make sense now?
Yeah. It's just this no bang for the buck. And you said you were actually inspired by Anthony, the Walking Journey guy. He left and he bought his house for like 230 or 220 grand US.
No,
like
66,000.
Wait, 66,000 in Texas.
In Texas, like with like 20, 30 acres and a big house.
Wait, what? Oh, wow, that's huge. Well,
that's like 6 years ago when he left California.
Yeah. Oh.
He calls it
Oh, wow,
Mexifornia.
66 grand. Oh, wow, that's even cheaper. Because in Brisbane right now, you can pick something up for like 250 grand Australian or 200K, which is 200K US or 220K Canadian for like a 7-bed. So it's like your place for like 220K Canadian in Brisbane, but you have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to Brisbane CBD. But that's not bad, right? That's not bad.
It's still bad. Look how far you're driving. Stop complying. It's bad. In Brisbane, it should be $70,000 if you're commuting that far.
Yeah.
Do you know why it should be $70,000 outside? Because it's for older people. So if they have to commute into the city, it's cheaper for them to live outside on their pensions.
Yeah. No, but that house was actually like a 7 bed, six living room, 5 baths for like 250K Australian or 200K American. I know it's still inflated compared to like what you can get back in 2005, but it's still better than like it's still achievable. Like if people still want to get out of the big city, it's still achievable.
Yeah, but an
Yeah.
hour drive?
Yeah, in Brisbane.
And you guys
Yeah.
drive on the left side of the road too, right?
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I know driving left is but it's because it's the southern hemisphere, so they make you drive left.
So it's like when you flush your toilet, the water swirls to the left, not to the right.
Oh yeah, that swirls the other side because it's in the southern hemisphere. I think it's the same as New Zealand as well.
Yeah, New Zealand is with you guys too. They're all in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably this week gonna watch your videos on like your upgrading doors and then like painting your garage door floors and all the other videos and like making a farm in your garden. I'm gonna watch those as well.
Yeah.
Very soon. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
putting
put
them
more
into
videos up.
playlists, so
Put
I'm
up, like,
slowly.
Pull up like 100 videos before I left the big city. I just want to watch like every single one of them. I want to take the time to watch it.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate that you're taking. And I
Yeah.
told people like the Raven and all the other people that people
Yeah.
watch back shows of Mike in the Night.
Yeah. But Mike, there's a good thing. Like people around me, they're sort of waking up now. Like especially with like some of my friends who go to like church groups and stuff. Like some of them are like waking up now to like the tyranny of like all this COVID and all that. And believe it or not, Mike, I'm not gonna get the vaccine no matter what they say. If they they want to terminate my employment, fine. Since I work in a pharmacy, they want people to be vaccinated because it's called like healthcare. But if they want to terminate me because I don't want to get a vaccine, that's fine. Because I personally don't trust Pfizer or AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. I personally don't trust it.
Well, of course, it's been what? It's been in process for 8 months. Who the hell's going to trust anything that's 8 months? Do you trust an 8-month-year-old baby?
Yeah, no.
Right, you see what I'm saying?
Even my friend.
Well, you know what you could do?
Day, he said like the COVID vaccine is way too rushed. Like there's no way it's gonna like it's still like testing phase and we are like the guinea pigs. I can send you screenshots and stuff. He said he's not getting it either, and especially with Iran banning the vaccines, I'm not gonna like get the vaccine at all because Iran is banning it. I think it's the Ayatollah Khamenei, a former president of Iran. He said,
"Isn't that your friend?"
In the tweet, importing vaccines made in the US or the UK is prohibited. They are completely untrustworthy. Is not unlikely they would want to contaminate other nations. Given our experience with France's HIV-tainted blood supplies, France vaccines aren't trustworthy either. So Iran and US is obviously being an economic war, and they don't trust the US-UK vaccine because it's from AstraZeneca and Pfizer. And you've also seen what happened to the Miami doctor who died. And then
there's many doctors who died.
And people getting convulsions, getting vomiting, all these weird stuff. Compared to like those smallpox vaccines, you get a bit of fever for a day or two. But with the COVID vaccine, people are getting like all sorts of weird stuff, and then there's actual mainstream doctors coming out against it, and then the government just maims them and frames them and calls them like conspiracy theorists, and then dismiss them out of their positions.
Right, just like people that went against climate change or global warming, or carbon crisis or whatever they called it at the time.
Yeah, they were saying Florida was underwater, and
in 2007 it is right now, but not in our paradigm. You have to go to another paradigm.
Yeah, and they were saying like places even in Sydney are gonna be like underwater.
If anything, the water receded. If you look carefully.
Yeah, the water's receded, and they say like even in like parts of like China, like near Beijing, like the water's gonna go all the way into Beijing, and that never happened. They say like by 2022, 2021, like
they keep pushing it a decade.
Yeah, there was no water. It's still dry. It's still the same as like 2000. It hasn't even moved.
Yeah.
Even Heiser says he said the one of the top climate scientists saying like even if Australia's like putting carbon tax and reducing emissions and like going full green, it's gonna like reduce like less than 1% of all carbon emissions in the world. It's not gonna make any difference.
Dude.
There's like literally no chance.
Dude. Remember that volcano in Indonesia like last week?
Oh yeah, what happened? I didn't really
that volcano
know.
that I don't know if you saw the video of it. That volcano put more soot and ash in our ionosphere than we as humans did in the last 5 years all together at one. Yeah. No one could. If you tell that to somebody, they're like, scientists will say, "Yeah, you're right, Mike. That volcano last week in Indonesia was pretty big." But let me tell you something. Yeah, that's probably 10 years or 20 years of what humans produce all together as one. So there's more carbon coming out of volcanoes. So what are they going to do? Volcano change or volcano eruption? Money relief or something? I don't know, man. Thank you, Anthony Ruvalakaba, for sending me $5. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. $5. Thank you. This is like the 100th time that Anthony has donated to the channel.
Donated, yeah. I should donate one day as well.
Oh, there's no.
Give me some of my crypto profits from
it's there.
Dogecoin.
It's there whenever. It doesn't matter. But you know
see
what?
Dogecoin, the dog, the Doge.
You know what?
The Dogecoin.
you should talk to people as me as a third person. So at work, if they tell you, okay, you're gonna have to take the vaccine if you want to continue working for us, you could use me as a third person and say, no way, man. Mike's gonna get mad. Mike Martins told me I cannot take this vaccine, and I don't want to get Mike Martins mad.
I'll try to say that at work.
And they'll look at you and say, what are you talking about? Well, I spoke to Mike Martins, and he told me that I'm not taking the vaccine, and I'm not allowed to take the vaccine because Mike Martin said so. And then they're going to look at you and say, well, we're going to have to let you go. And you'll be like, well, why are you doing what your government is telling you?
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't want to make Mike Martins angry.
Mike, can I do a follow-up? Like, you know how I did the 2 negative COVID tests?
Yeah.
One of the nurse, she was like a Lebanese Australian. She said like food prices has gone up 30% in the last quarter in Beirut, in Lebanon. And like Lebanese Australians are actually sending like money to Lebanon because it's like going bad. And we had like customers saying they're buying medicines like paracetamol. So like Panadol, that's what Australia sells. In America, they call it like Tylenol. It's like those cold and flu and fever and pain tablets. They're actually sending medicines to Lebanon because Lebanon, there's actual like a medicine shortage there. Like you were right about the pharmaceutical shortage. Like there's shortage in Australia and there's shortage in like parts of the Middle East. And some people are like stacking up medicines. There were a batch of antacids that finally arrived from the back order after like 3 months or 6 months of being out, and then quickly that disappeared pretty fast as well. The antacids, the pharmaceuticals are getting slimmer and slimmer.
Well, keep an eye on the pharmaceutical. I know you work as a pharmacist, so keep an eye on the pharmaceutical side of things, and let us know if there's shortages on things, what's taking longer to come in, you know, and what's hitting, what's missing. It's good to know, you know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know. Have you heard about the Wisconsin pharmacist that destroys the vaccine?
Well, tell us.
It was that was in America, like a pharmacist who destroyed 500 COVID vaccines. Like he was. I think
yeah, I heard about that guy. Yes,
they were charged. No, because he like that pharmacist was like, I don't want to get flagged, but that person was actually trying to warn the public of like the dangers, because of I think they were calling him a conspiracy theorist, but I think the pharmacist was up to something. Like that person knew something was wrong with the vaccine, with the Pfizer vaccine. There was something like sinister going on, and then he like left it outside the fridge, and then like the authorities got him. But that person was actually genuinely warning us about this vaccine. Australia, like they're actually trying to force it upon people. But if they make it mandatory, I'm just gonna find another job. Like even if it's like in a restaurant where you don't require vaccine, in like clinical settings they require vaccine. If they want me to get a vaccine, I'll just say I resigned. I just put like the resignation letter down the table. I know it's hard to find a job, but I would rather work like a job like with even lesser money that doesn't require vaccine rather than the job that requires to be vaccinated, because I just don't want to get it, period. Yeah.
Well, I hear you.
I'm maintaining my posture. I'm not gonna get it.
You know, I want to. I was gonna ask you something when I spoke to you again.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to tell you, and I don't know. I completely forgot what it was. I remember I was supposed to ask you something, but I'll remember
Was it
after.
Sydney or?
Nah, I'll probably remember it after I get off the phone with you. But that's usually that's what
Oh.
happens. But
I want to ask. I want to answer it.
I can't remember what it was I was gonna ask you. I freaking.
Do you know
It's
what
like that, I
topic?
forget,
Like
and then after
economics or
yeah.
like.
Yeah. Okay, listen, I'm going to let you go. It's been 15 beautiful minutes talking to you. I want to see if I could get see if the Raven is doing okay, because he seems pretty quiet in the comments there. Just help us
If you get that thing in your mind, like if you know like what you are going to ask me,
message you on
just
Skype.
send it to me in Skype. Just send it to me in Skype.
Yeah.
Like just send a message, because I really want to answer it. Like if you got any questions.
Okay.
I might not know the answer. Like I don't know like everything because I'm still like a young person. But like I'm happy to like search it up for you and stuff.
I appreciate that.
I'm your boots on the ground in Sydney. I got your back. I'm the boots in Sydney. So.
But you know what? Please use me as a third person when someone says, "Look, you don't want to make Mike Martins mad."
All right, I'll do that.
Even at the bus driver, if he asks you something, say, "Look, Mike Martin said I don't have to do this."
All right. I'll do
You take
that.
care, Tommy.
I'll keep
Stay in jail, eh?
Yeah, I'll keep you informed. I'll finish I left the big city. I still got 16 videos to go.
Okay. You take care, Tommy.
Right.
God bless.
Take care, man. See you. Bye.
That is Tommy from Sydney, Australia, calling us. He's got some good information. He does send me a good. I need to talk to. We're gonna get. I want to get Supreme Cannon on next week because it's good to get an update on a perspective on what's happening. Let's see if the Raven picks up his phone. He's probably sleeping. Hey, are you sleeping?
No, I'm not sleeping.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought maybe it's because it's already late there, right? So I thought maybe you were out or sleeping or something. Listen, okay. So are you at Taco Time still?
No, I'm no. I ordered pizza tonight.
Okay.
Pizza Hotline. Yeah.
Okay. So you've heard the show. So what do you think? Not too bad, eh?
Well, I thought Stell's call was pretty interesting. That RBC psychologist thing was pretty bizarre. Yeah, that's pretty telling.
That was intense. I was going to start crying when he told me that story. Huh?
I thought you got that crying under control.
Yeah. But
you know what? There's one thing I wanted to say. Okay. Linny was telling me about this article that I have to say she found an article, and because she's always going through articles, she found an article. She can type in her room. I don't quite remember what the article was, but it was that it was a study done on COVID that on average it's taken 2 years off everybody's life due to stress. And I believe that. It's probably taken more than 2 off mine. And then I started thinking, if it's taken 2 years off everybody's life for stress, I whipped out the calculator and I thought, okay, well, there's 7.8 billion people. Let's just say there's 7. 2 times 7 is 14 billion years
of time removed of people's lives. I can't get over this article. I'm going to bring it up again. I'm sorry, I got to bring this up, but we lost the Raven. I think the Raven is in an undisclosed area. Right here. I can't get over this. CNN's reporting in Japan, more people died from suicide last month than from COVID in all of 2020, and women have been impacted the most. Sorry, I'm just rereading that suicide is up in Japan and women have been impacted the most. Sorry.
Yeah, where was I when you got cut off there?
You said something about you want to play rough?
You didn't. Lenny was talking about a story.
Report made on the. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. 2 years. We've lost 2 years of our lifespan because of stress from COVID. They did a study. 7 billion people. There's more, I know. 7 billion times 2, that's 14 billion. Divided by 75-year lifespan, we'll say that's a little low, but we'll say 75.
Mm-hmm.
That's 186,666,000 people dead. They're not just killing us, they're shortening our time here. Because what are we, a 20-ton carbon footprint for people in North America? Well, you can do all kinds of math now. With let's just say 187 million dead. If you're taking away all those years off our lives, that equals 187 million years, or 187 million people worth of life on this planet. That's 187 million years of carbon, or 187 million people in carbon. You can start looking at the GDP. You can look. That's what these guys are looking at. They're shrinking our time here, not just shrinking the amount of people here. They're taking away our lifespans. That's what they're doing with this. This is far away overrunning the hospital. Oh God, I'm going full kook. I didn't think I was going to. This is far away in the hospitals. That's a joke at this point. Is there nobody in charge here? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, really? It's obvious that the ramifications far outweigh anything else. That's all I have to say.
Oh, hold on. So
it's a good point, Mike. It's a good point. The stress factors, if they can gauge them out to 2 years a person, it's 187 million people if you add up all those years.
Okay.
Against what? Their BS, 2 million dead? Pretty much the same as tuberculosis last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke.
Well, aren't we paying all that? Someone commented right now. Isn't this why we're paying the carbon tax, so we could save our lives and live longer?
I think the carbon tax probably comes from Soros.
No, I know it's all a scam. But I'm saying, but come on, we're paying the carbon tax and we don't get to live longer. That's horseshit.
I want to know who's monitoring this channel.
We are. We're on it.
No. Who's monitoring it? Who are all those people on there? There's hundreds in that chat room. You only hear from 20 or 30. Who are those? There's some other people out there that work for government agencies, and their job is to find key phrases, keywords, mark down IP addresses. Who are you guys? What did they explain to you to make you think that you're doing the right thing? Your moral compass is pointing towards hell. We're your people. You should be with us. That's who I know. I just have a very suspicious that they're really monitoring everything. And then you got that domestic terrorist bill they're passing.
Oh, they're passing something like, what is it? What does it mean? Tell us.
Go on Zero Hedge. It's on the first page there. Domestic terrorist bill. It's are you going to be a domestic terrorist? And I looked at it. It's freedom of speech. It's everything. Everything that we're talking about right now is actually classified as being a domestic terrorist. That's in the States. But you can bet Canada is going to pass that too. Remember Snowden?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Snowden caught them, He caught Obama, he embarrassed them. And then look what happened. Well, Justin Trudeau passed it 2/16, June 6th. He passed that they can record all our information. If his dad was alive, he'd have beat the shit out of him. His dad was the founder of the Charter of Freedom and Rights.
I got some good news. Black Lives Matter nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
No. I know.
Woo! It's like Obama when he got the Nobel Peace Prize. He dropped more bombs during his administration than all other presidents combined.
You want to know something? After reading everything about that and all that, I don't really agree with the riots and that, but I came to the realization that black people did get screwed over. I never really realized their plight, but I've really looked a lot deeper at it. I sent some money to the Dominican to help out a family, and he sent me a picture back of what he bought with some baby food, some wipes, and a big pack of diapers. In a 99.9% black country, he bought a big pack of diapers with a white baby's picture on it. And I thought, you know what? That's bullshit. We shove that down their throats. They've been screwed over from day one. And I'm kind of sick about that, actually. And I really started to think about that. They have a really big reason to be pissed off.
But you know what? But you need to understand something too, Raven. It was their conflict, right? I'm not talking about it was the conflict of their time, not us. It's not me that's against somebody. It's not you.
You go back in the Bible 500 years, you're going to see all black people. We've erased that. We've pushed our color onto everybody.
Well, I don't know about that, Raven, because Stel Toronto, thank you for... Okay, stop sending me super chats. It's enough. I love you, Stel. I love you.
Address.
Huh?
He could give him my email address. He can PayPal me some money.
No. Listen. There's a lot more than the whole... There's a lot more. And the problem is we are constantly reminded of the times when it was their conflict. And I'm not talking, I'm talking about the conflict that they were in, the whites, the blacks, the slave owners, the slave pushers, the this, the that. And there was a lot more happening in that time. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of research to look up. Ulysses S. Grant was the last president of the United States before it became a corporation.
Yeah, I've been hearing lots about that.
Well, don't worry. No. Let's take one step back. Do you know why there was a North and the South? The North and the South, there was no armed. The conflict wasn't armed. They didn't have an armed civil war, a conflict costing I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars in that time because of slavery. It was about banking.
Every war is banking.
Right. But it wasn't the bank funding both sides. The reason why the South lost is because they weren't funded by the British banks or the European banks. The South refused to join the world banking cartel. The North wanted to be part of it. The South said, no way, Jose, we're not part of this. The North wanted to be part of it, right? And that became a major issue. And that's what they were really fighting over, was that.
How's that make you feel?
You know how that makes me feel? It makes me feel that nobody's alive from that time to corroborate or to tell me that I am right about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody matters in this world. We all play a role and a part. It doesn't matter. Like Stel on the phone. I don't care if you're this, if you're that, or it doesn't matter. It's a case-by-case situation. You know
what you did say that I really thought about, and I think you might be right.
What?
And I said, no, I don't think so. But you said, I'm going to phrase this. You said, maybe it's a distraction in a distraction in a distraction. Mm-hmm. Maybe like saying that this is really what's happening. Maybe it's bigger than that, and even bigger than that. And you might be right about that. I really thought about that.
Because I told you before, and I told the last guy. The last week I had a caller call in, and with the guy with God Rules, Tony from God Rules channel. I asked him. I told him. I said, look, what if this COVID is the distraction? Then what's the real thing that's going to happen?
You know what? I think the trade wars, like I said before, was conditioning for COVID, because you could see they took jobs all around the world for 18 months. They were getting us ready, hardships that rolled into COVID. I think COVID is conditioning for food crisis. I think that's next, and it's going to come it's happening now.
They don't need to create a major crisis, but I think the food crisis will be another distraction, and I think the power is going to go out somehow. But I think it's going to be internet is going to be more regulated. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we lost the Raven. I hope he didn't get arrested again. Raven? Ravenola? Ravenola? We lost the Raven. So what I wanted to say, guys, is that there's a lot of unfortunately, we're going into the digital book burning future, where basically they're going to be wiping out history as they feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say. I just conflicts were created. Conflicts, and if you follow the money, you get to your answers. Yeah, sure. A lot of people were screwed over. I mean, the Portuguese were screwed over. 41,000 families were deported from Canada in Toronto. 41,000 were picked up at schools, at jobs. and deported. You know, every culture has. Right? I know Armenia, it was a massive crisis that no one talks about that happened in Armenia. No one talks about the massive issues that happened in early days in France, the Franks. No one talks about you know what I'm saying, the massive issue that happened, the people of Chile and what they suffered through, Argentina and what they suffered through, right? There's always going to be division, right? But it's always easier to create the division between skin color because it's visual and religion because it's verbal. They always find a way, to play with us. And I said this 10 years ago. It was their conflict. I don't have any issues with nobody. I don't want to be made to seem like I am this color because I have an issue and what did they call it? Privilege. No. It was an issue that was created. It was their issue. It was their fight. We live today now, folks. Whatever happened 100, 200 years ago is in the past. Should we forget it? No. We should never forget the past. Yo.
Sorry, Mike, I don't know, my phone went dead. That's just bizarre.
Yeah, I know, because you're on the phone with me. But anyways, it was their issue. It was their fight. It was their... time, whatever it was, whether it was persecution, but we don't hold that grudge going forward. We don't continuously bring that into the future. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to explain unless I really sat down and thought about it, but I feel that, I feel that people of color really got screwed over, man. I just really do.
No,
yes,
they did.
Deny it.
Yes, they
really
did.
Think that.
But the Armenians got screwed over. They have a reason
to be pissed off. They have a reason to be pissed off.
Mike, Raven, the Armenians got screwed over. The Brazilians got screwed over. The Argentinians got screwed over. We could go into every history of every culture and see how they got either reamed real good or screwed over or destroyed or decimated. It's been happening.
Yeah, I think it's white people that did it. They did it all. I'm white.
So you're saying that you didn't do nothing, Raven.
I'm saying, I know, but I'm saying that we have to undo what these people did.
We have to move prosperously forward, okay? And remember the past, but don't live within the past.
No, but you got, it's a reminder, and if you don't study the past, you're condemned to repeat it. And we shouldn't repeat it.
I'm not saying to get rid of the past, but I'm telling you as a friend, like love thy neighbor. That's it. And I was on the phone with Layla back in the day. Oh, how do we fix love your enemy? That's it. If you love somebody, you're not going to bomb them. If you love somebody, you're not going to screw them over. That's very simple.
Like Stell said, and Linny she'll vouch for me. I'll spend half an hour talking to a homeless person, or I'll talk to somebody. It doesn't matter to me. I see them all the same. I do. I see them all the same.
Like when I was in downtown Vancouver and I had my big store, my big business, I would talk to all the janitors in the mall. I would talk to homeless people. I'd buy people food all the time. And even one of my employees says, "Why are you always talking to like the janitor for? Why?" It's like, why not? You know what I'm saying? It's not, it was their conflict. We don't need to, pay for somebody else's conflict. A lot of people have paid, a lot of people, and then what do? They come up with this white privilege thing. And then the white privilege, you're surrounded. No, there's no white privilege. When I went for a job, they'd ask me, what the first thing they'd ask me, Raven? You know what the first thing they would ask me when I'd sit down for a job? They'd ask me, are you Portuguese? That's the first thing they would ask me. And do you think it's a joke? Do you think it's a joke when Family Guy puts up that I'm going to put up that Family Guy little clip. We couldn't run an ad that said no Portuguese, but no Portuguese. Do you think they're joking about that?
Oh, they're making light of it,
Yes. But I'm saying it's every culture has its own. Here it goes, guys. Here's the clip. Mike in the Night clip. We couldn't run an ad
that said no Portuguese, but no Portuguese.
There you go. There's Stewie Griffith saying, well, we'll even play it again for you guys. Look,
we couldn't run an ad that said no Portuguese, but no Portuguese.
Yeah, and when I get pulled over by a cop, you know what the first thing he says to me? Are you Portuguese?
No, it's not.
You don't think so? You don't believe me?
No. I don't think so. That's I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, he said it. Ask my wife when I got pulled over in my Corvette when I had a convertible when I was dating her. When the cop pulled me over, he asked me, "Are you Portuguese?" That was in Vancouver. Then never mind Toronto. I was pulled over in where was I? Hold on. I went not even job interviews in the classroom in high school when I was in grade 10. Who speaks Portuguese in the class? Put your hand up. I put my hand up. Other people in the class. Okay, go sit in the back of the class. I don't want to deal with you guys.
Really?
You
Come
think
on.
I'm making this up? You think I'm making this up? You know they went to high schools. They went to high schools and they held back all the Portuguese-speaking children and told and we had held us till 2:00 in the morning till our parents came in and proved that we're allowed to be in Canada.
Why did you piss them off so much?
There you go.
How'd you piss them off? Why are they mad at the Portuguese?
So here it is. Lex reported saying, "I agree. The Irish also had every culture, no matter the color. Everyone has been screwed by the gov, no matter what." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When it comes down to it and you're fighting for food, people are going to go back to your uniform is going to be your skin color, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen. Just like the yard at jail. That's what they do. When it comes down to the basics, people will go to their own color and their own skin color. That's unfortunate. I think we should all work together at what's happening here. People need to put down all their differences.
Yeah, a cartoon. Dano saying Mike is right. My family in Europe were screwed over by the communists. We were both white. It's not a racial thing. It's not. They want to make it, just like global warming. They want to make these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
We're all human beings. We all bleed, and we're all born from woman.
Hey, I know what they're doing. This is psychological. They took sports out. Told you that last year. Sports is gone. They replaced it with mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine, Democrats, Republicans, black, white. They took sports away, made new teams. And we all went to war. Now the country's like, it's moldable to whatever they want because we can't, everyone's divided, right? You know, everyone, but put that aside. I've come to realize after looking and actually listening to people in their interviews and that online and that, there's been an oppression to those people that we've put on those people over the years. And they're right. I used to not realize that. I didn't really even think anything about it. I see it now. I realize it now. They're right. We screwed them over. Like, well, I don't notice. I know you're saying the Portuguese, but it wasn't.
Never mind the Portuguese.
I didn't.
Like, there's a lot of cultures, even in Canada, that got screwed over. Like, look at the First Nations, the Aboriginals. Look at, there's so much, Raven. I mean, that's why we don't get into that. Do you know why? It's because we're living now. We're living today, right? Who's spinning this? The media.
There's things that have to be fixed. Things have to be fixed. We can't go on like this.
But what do you want to fix?
Overhaul.
When I lived in Florida, my best friend was Jamaican. Okay? I live here in Merritt. My best friend in Merritt is Jamaican. My neighbor is Jamaican, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We're best friends because we just are best friends. I don't pick my best friends.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, there's nothing. My neighbor, like when I lived in Florida, all the people that did the do, it doesn't matter, with Latinos, black, whatever, they all the ones that got ahead were the ones that were doing the do, the ones that did their thing, motivated themselves, went to work, set goals for their lives. They all did well. And you're always going to have a class of people, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. They're not going to make it in life because they're not doing what they need to do to advance. Right? And then in the States, you call them rednecks or hillbillies.
First person I offered a ride to in my Corvette's a black guy. Works at 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the only person I actually offered a ride to.
Mm-hmm. You offered me a ride. You're lying.
No, you're not.
Are you still there? Oh, we lost the Raven again. So CJ is saying, but there is no reason for people to be looting. Burning does more worse than good to the community. Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know what goes on with my. I'm in a basement.
Oh, you're in a. Oh, you're in a basement.
I'm actually in a bunker, but I don't want to say that because people will make fun of me. I'm in a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
It's my little bunker, yeah. Anyways, I'll let someone else call in, Mike.
Dude, I'm going to sleep. It's 3:00. I've been here for 3 hours.
You don't want to talk to Supreme? You don't want to talk to Supreme?
I'll get him on next week. Yeah, I'll get him on next week.
You know, all I really wanted to say was that thing about that lifespan, because I find that fascinating that much time's coming off our lifespan. Everybody's got stress from this.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that they're killing us. They're not just killing us; they're shortening our lives. You know, they're getting us from all angles.
Mm-hmm.
People got to think about that, you know, and start doing the math and start looking at that and think about that. They're taking that's just up till now. They've taken 2 years. What happens when we're sicker, less sunlight, you know, more restrictions? It's like they said, the variants, the mutant strains coming. These guys are going to run this forever. When are we going to stand up and say enough is enough?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
So
that's why they're monitoring your channel. They're trying to gauge those things. They're looking at what the pushback's going to be.
Yeah, or trying to figure out what the pushback's going to be.
Yeah, you think they're just going to guess? All they got to do is flip on YouTube.
Elvis Lives is saying there's no black communists. All those African regimes down in Angola was taken over by communism after the Portuguese surrendered it and gave it independence. Angola was taken over by the Cubans. Communism. It's all communism there. Anyways. Okay, Raven, God bless you.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
So we need to, there's nothing to set straight because we understand. We're living here and now. We're living here and now. It doesn't matter what the Portuguese did 500 years ago. It doesn't matter what the Spanish did. It's what we do now in our lives that matter. It's what we do, for our families. It's what we do for our friends. It's what we do at work. It's what we do to help someone cross the street. It's what we do to love each other. Anyways, guys. Yes, it's parasites versus humans is what it is. There's a lot of people out there that's I never, like a lot of the successful people, never complain about certain things. And then you see what some people that are having, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's really something that we shouldn't waste our time on this channel because, color, state of mind, and it just love each other. There's nothing to it. There's nothing. It's so easy. It's so much easier to love somebody than to hate them because it takes so much effort to hate somebody. It really does. It's such a draw on your soul, on your body. All right, let's see if Supreme Cannon could take a call. I'm going to get him on right now. I got to get Supreme Cannon. Ralphie tried to call. We're going to get Ralphie on next week to do a good, proper plug. But let's get Supreme Cannon here to set things straight with no debate.
Hola, Miguel.
Yo, set things straight with no debate.
Yeah, I just got to mute this thing. Hey, what's going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Me too. My biggest problem the last year has been boredom and not having enough to do. And that's a problem for a lot of people too. It would take 20 years to find out if if it actually shortened lifespans, wouldn't it?
Mm.
You know, like, I mean, we don't know how long we're going to live. Yeah, it's a stressful time, but there's lots of people that went through the friggin' first half of the 20th century and they still lived to be 100. You know what I mean? Like, that was real stress.
David F. in the comments is saying, your stream took a nosedive tonight. Mike Martin's very disappointed.
Oh, yeah, that's a 1-star on Yelp then. What are you going to do? Yeah. Well, you know what? It's kind of random, isn't it? People call in and they share their viewpoint, and some viewpoints, yeah, you're going to get a bit of everything. That's all.
And then he goes on to say, shut up, Raven, enough of you, and you were given too much oxygen and airtime with your white guilt.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? Again, everybody's got a chance to express your viewpoint. So, a little grace goes a long way. That's all. Yeah. And that's the thing. Every opinion is permitted. That one's permitted too, as long as you're not trolling or whatever. Yeah. So there's a lot of funky stuff going on right now. Obviously, I've been in the chat all night, and the common themes are right. New World Order stuff, right? Which we all have our view on. I look at it as kind of like this multifaceted thing, and we're all looking at it. We're all looking at the same thing, but from a different facet, right? Like, it's the Venn diagram of where all of our viewpoints overlap is the thing we want to focus on. Yeah, there are people that want to control us. They always were. Are they in charge? No. Because if they actually wanted us all dead, well, last time I checked, I'm alive and talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm. So,
no, obviously they're not completely in charge. There's always somebody that wants to be in charge. It's been brought up here. I brought it up last week. We've been talking about the behavior of bureaucracy in a time of war, basically, is what we have, right? Where people get a little bit of authority and it just goes to their head, and the next thing you know, we're just being it's the dictatorship of the cat ladies of both genders. Right? It's not even gender specific. It's just bad, right? It's like your local housing association has taken over the world, and it's just hell. It still comes down to the same thing, guys. I don't know if it's going to get worse, if it's going to get better, and I don't even know how you would define it. I mean, there are people that have been through war and they loved it. It was the greatest adventure of their lives. Nobody wants trouble. We all want peace, but you're going to find peace in different ways. Right? For some people, peace was like the Wright brothers. You risk your neck trying to build a flying machine. That's not real peaceful for most of us, right? Base jumping helps some people settle their nerves. You know what I mean? It's all relative. But most of us, the way it overlaps is you're going to find your peace in knowing that you have food in the cupboard, that there's people you care about and who care about you. If you're not involved in your community, well, you know what? Reach out to somebody. Make a friend. Right? You might not be able to.
It's just so much easier loving somebody. You don't have to love but you know what I'm saying? It's just so easy. Like, hating something or hating someone or hating a cause or it just wears you down.
Well, there's always going to be something to piss you off. Always. That's never going to go away. Hello, we live in a fallen world, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have, where you get so frustrated that the sheep won't wake up. Well, you know what? If you know what happens, if you know what's going to happen, you have understanding, and if you are prepared, well, then guess what? The problem is that you're probably going to have to take the responsibility of leading some of these sheep out of trouble yourself. That's something that you need to prepare for. It's not just a matter of, hunker down so you can eat SpaghettiOs and watch the world burn out your front window. It's like there's going to be people that need help. As you've heard from the stories like Stel was talking about, there's people that desperately need help now. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of these big state apparatuses cannot handle everything. They don't have unlimited resources. It's going to reach a point where people need to reach out and help each other more, or be willing to. It may just be a matter of who you pass on the street one day. Right? All of these random acts of kindness add up. That's what keeps the world livable. That's what has enabled us to survive as long as we have. Sorry, Mike, I interrupted you.
No, I was just gonna say that we need to live today. If we keep living in the past, or this happened 300 years ago, this happened 100 years ago, this happened 50 years ago, or if we keep living in other conflicts that other people created, we're living in their conflicts today.
Well, and the thing is that the people that you would think would have the least reason to forgive seem to forgive just fine. I mean, is Israel suing Rome because they have a picture of a menorah on the Arch of Titus from the destruction of Jerusalem? It seems to me they get along fine. They don't actually have a lot of grudges. The past was the past, and if some people refuse to leave it there, then you have to assume that they're a troublemaker, and you treat troublemakers accordingly. You turn them off. You zone them out. Okay? You block their calls. You lose their contacts. You ghost them. You know what? No, not listening to your nonsense. And if you're hearing it on TV or on the media, then you need to find yourself a different media, because there's all kinds now. I see, Mike, what's happening. If we don't get the lie, if someone doesn't find the plug on the lie machine and turn it off, what we're going to wind up with within our own nations is parallel societies. We're going to have our own media, which, yours is a part of that. It's a facet of it. You're going to have your own social media. You're going to have your own intranational economies running their own stuff. And the only reason that they ultimately refer to, the state is just because you've got to function somehow, right? Because it seems like the people that usually wind up getting control of democracies are all lefties. And all they're going to do is try to turn you into a slave and turn your children into brainwashed
bizarre ideologies. I want to thank Stel Toronto for sending me $50. Stop sending super chat.
Stel, you're a sweetie, man. You really are.
Yeah, Stel's the best, man.
Yeah, it was great to hear your voice tonight. You know a lot. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that for coming on the show too and giving us that story about that RBC. Like, I almost started crying.
Yeah, it's bad. That's terrible. It's terrible. And what a thing on the people that work there. But that's the thing. They're the people that handle the money, so they are getting these calls, these desperate plaintive voices from calling out of the ether saying, "Please help me. I don't know what to do. I'm starving." I mean, there's times of war where people get used to a little bit of discomfort and they become self-reliant, right? But it's been so long since there's been like something like that, particularly in Canada, that it comes down to, you've got to, if you're in a position to help someone or at least give them some advice or put some food in their belly, for God's sakes, do it. It's not necessarily a matter, okay, well, you're going to make friends and you're going to make allies and stuff like that. That's not what it's about. It's about, your fellow man, your fellow woman. They got to eat too. And we got people that are just more concerned with their own power and the increase of their own wealth and influence. And the stupid thing is they're sawing off the branch they're sitting on. They gain power, but they lose influence because now nobody listens to them. That's
right.
Why you wind up with a cop on every street corner and informers everywhere. Because the people in charge, like think of the old Soviet Union, you had central planning for everything. Well, why? Because everybody thought they were stupid. And they were. They were stupid.
I want to thank Johnny Dingo for sending me $5. Thanks, Mike, and all-star callers.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, you're very generous tonight. Oh,
he's been generous like the last 5 live streams, and that's it. He's cut off till next year.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, let's keep this going, guys. It's a forum for us, Yeah, some people are going to change the channel. They don't like what they're hearing or whatever else, and that's fine. That's fine.
Well, that's fine, but
we change the subjects all the time. There's something for everybody here, right? It's just everybody needs a chance to talk, so it's going to take a little time. So if you don't like what you're hearing, you know what? Go wash the dishes or something. Give it 20 minutes and come back. Like,
it goes back to people living in in other conflicts. People living today in other people's conflicts, and
definitely,
it's not going to get you anywhere in life. I promise you, it's not.
Yeah, and so much of it, if your own life is relatively quiet, then it turns into virtue signaling too. It's kind of like, it's okay. Well, I'm wearing this ribbon because I support this cause, and you're wearing it on your sleeve. It's like, well, okay, that's great. You've got compassion and empathy, but did you walk by hungry people on the street while you were doing it? I think you suck if that's the case. I think you're living in a bubble. You're living in a bubble. It's like, no, help somebody out. Then you can talk about what's going on in the world. Terrible things have happened in history, no question about it. But the thing about life, Mike, is love and passion. Life is meaningless without love and passion, but those two words mean different things to different people. So conflict is inevitable. The best thing to do in a case like that is just, let people be. If they won't let you be, then you need to tune them out, right? You need to be yourself, as anti-fragile as possible. It's why I always talk about preparation. I'm not a prepper. I'm not living out in the woods. I'm not off the grid. I don't have 5 years worth of MREs in the cupboard. I don't have an M2 Browning in the broom closet, although I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't really think I need it where I am. It just comes down to get the world's hooks out of you. Get them out of your mind. Get them out of your soul. And get them out of your bank account, out of your flesh. Okay? Get rid of your debt. Pay it down. Get rid of it. Don't stop feeding the vampires. If you're watching stuff on TV that ain't good for you, you know what? Just watch something else better once in a while. Create good habits. It's not even necessarily a matter of getting rid of the bad ones. Just start some good ones. Acknowledge that you've got weaknesses as a human being, and you just need to start some good habits and put some love into yourself in your own life, right? And quit worrying about what's going on the other side of the world or what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's not good that cops are stopping people and they're interrogating them and stuff like that, and all this talk about camps and the rest of it. Well, they can't take everybody. There's some real horror stories out there. There's no doubt about it. But they're not going to take everybody. Remember, I can't think of a regime more brutal than the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah,
Especially
Stalin was it 40 million?
Oh, something like that. If you add the war between them and the Nazis, I mean, could have been upwards of 40 million killed there too, or between that starvation. There was places in Russia, they said it smelled like death into the 50s. There were so many unburied bodies in the woods because of the battles that took place, especially in the wintertime. They're still digging them up. There's volunteers in Russia that are still out to this day going out with metal detectors looking for the unburied so that they can give them a proper funeral with honors because they considered them heroes, right? But that's the thing. Most people survived it, and we're going to too. And in the end, suppose we had global communism, how long is it going to last?
It won't last long.
It's not going to last forever. Communism doesn't work. Even if you had control of the whole world, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Hitting
matter.
Stacks, Tommy is saying Mike Martin, Stalin killed 60 to 65 million.
The total number of bodies, a number like that wouldn't shock me. It's absolutely horrible. Mao and the Cultural Revolution, that's what they're trying to get going here. This is a slow motion imposition of a cultural revolution. That's why you have the sex change stuff, and that's why you have the corruption in the entertainment. That's why they try to turn your boys and girls into promiscuous drug-sodden zombies. That's why they're doing all this. They're trying to. It's a slow motion cultural revolution, right? And it's a slow motion Black Death because who's getting married and having families now? Very few. Well, that's genocide. This is a genocidal phenomenon. And even if it wasn't intended that way, that's the effect. Because now there's a couple of generations that are, that are going to be a lot smaller in the future. And that's sad. But the thing is, if you unplug the lie machine from your own life and you find like-minded people who have also seen it for what it is and unplug themselves from it, there's your allies, there's your tribe, there's your friends. And they are all colors, creeds, both genders. And I'm only going to concede that there's two. Forget it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're doing here. We're people that are outside of that nonsense, and we're trying to brainstorm how to deal with it, and to keep ourselves from losing our crap. Right? I mean, this is a collapsed mine shaft of a society, and we're all here in cyberspace, reaching out to each other in the blackness, saying, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay. We need to figure out how we're going to dig ourselves out of here." It's not about lay down and die. Like, forget about despair. You are at war. You've been at war your whole life. This was launched decades ago. And it's a campaign. But I still maintain it's not going to succeed. It doesn't mean that it's going to be horrible. Think about, and I'll just wrap up with this. I don't want to keep you on here all night. If you think about the Battle of Stalingrad, for example, okay, in the winter of 1942, that was for all the marbles, because the Nazis, they needed oil, and they couldn't get oil from the Caucasus until they broke through at Stalingrad. So they had to take the place, which meant that the Soviets couldn't afford to lose it. That's why it was so bloody, and that's why it was so terrible and lasted so long, right? It was awful because it was for all the marbles. Well, the Germans lost. Well, that's great. That means that they're not going to need the energy. They're not going to get the energy they need to keep going. All right. Now, does that mean that all the killing stopped? No. Does that mean that, all right, everything's going to be okay now? No. No, it wasn't. No, in fact, the battles got larger and even bloodier all the way to the end. Right? It's like when the U.S. joined World War II in December of 1941. Churchill said, "Okay, now I know we're going to be okay." Does that mean that he didn't lose any sleep at night? No, of course not. There were still terrible things that were going to happen, but the math worked out. It was a mathematical certainty they were going to win now. Okay, we've got what we need to do this. It's still going to be awful, but it is going to end. Now we know that we're going to be okay. Now we can take care of them. And that's what's going on here. I have maintained that 2016 was the globalist Stalingrad because they needed a certain energy from us and they failed to get it. And now 4 years later, yeah, it seems like they've cheated their way back into the White House, and it took forever to, for Brexit to finally go through and all the rest of it. But these things are significant. I don't think that they're all being carefully planned. Life is way too damn random for that. What I think is it means that the energy they needed to take this thing over the 5-yard line, they don't quite have it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so, and that's the thing. Here we are talking about it, and now you see this GameStop thing this week. Out of nowhere, 3 million people on a message board took their little bit of money, and they caught a hedge fund in the act of trying to, destroy a company, take the stock down to zero so that they can make money, destroy people's livelihoods. This pirate, it's not even capitalism, it's just theft. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were funded by the Rothschilds, guys. I get all that. But the fact is, they still, in the end, it doesn't, they might have had a plan, but plans change. Their plans change too. They have to adjust their plans to the situation just like armies do, right? And just like people do. Has anyone in this room, in this chat room, ever had anything go wrong in their life? Or had your plans fail, no matter how carefully you plan them?
Of course. Well, you could plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather.
Of course. You know what? These people are no different. Sometimes they try something and enough people rise up against it, they go, okay, and they back off and they stop it. If it wasn't true, we'd all have been dead years ago. They haven't won. And I don't think they're going to, because they pissed so many people off. Yeah, they'll shut down the retail traders. That's right. Yeah, that won't attract any attention. There won't be any political blowback from that. There won't be all kinds of elites that see the opportunity to seize a little bit more power for themselves. It's not like these people love each other. So it's not. It's not. No, we're still in the game, guys. Yeah, they've cleared the benches. They're all in. I mean, they're not hiding it. But no, we're still in the game. It's not over. So stop acting,
Hitting
stop
Stacks.
acting like it's over.
Hitting Stacks is trying to tell me something. He's saying Mike Martins that the Soviets shot him when he was in his tank in the back in 1956. In 1956 Hungarian Revolution. He is 84 years old. When he was 19 years old, when he tried to fight off the Soviets in 1956 Hungary.
Yeah, I knew a guy there too from Hungary. Yeah, he worked at the sawmill that I logged for. He worked there for many years. He's retired now. But yeah, he came over to Canada in 1957 or 58, and he came from Hungary. He was part of the uprising, and it's believed that he took out a couple of Russian soldiers himself. So he was lucky to escape alive. And yeah, he didn't talk about it much. Like most people don't talk about things like that because it's so bloody awful. right? And you just want to live in peace. So yeah, he came over to Canada, and he worked locally here. Yeah, but that's the thing. There's people like that. There's people that fought in the German army that came to Canada, right? I mean, they were just at the time they were just young and they were doing their duty as they were taught to do it. It's just not right to call people monsters. You know, the real monsters identify themselves eventually,
Right.
right? I mean, you just that's all.
All right. Anyways.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I could go on forever, but no, I mean the robber barons of Wall Street, okay, got caught with their pants pulled down so everybody could see the bunnies on their shorts. Yeah. Right, and they're stuck. They are stuck in a bear trap right now.
They're going to cover their short positions, right?
They do, and they're going to have to move the goal post so far behind you'd be able to take off a fully loaded 747 between them, and everyone in the world's going to see it. If anybody thinks that's not going to affect public perception of the way things are run in the world, I don't know what to tell you. Because there you are. It's right there with spotlight on it.
Yeah, I know. So, I hear you.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, Supremo, have yourself a good night. Thanks for the thing. We'll get you on again next week for next week. What are we talking about? Digital souls.
Digital souls. Yes, that's fascinating.
Digital souls. What's going to happen? All right. Thank you, Supremo. God bless you, eh?
God bless. Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Hasta la vista. All right, guys, it's been almost 3 hours and 42 minutes. I want to thank Stel Toronto for sending me a bunch of money. And also want to thank everyone in the chat room and everyone that's been part of the channel. And guys, don't live in other conflicts. Live today. Live for your family. Love your people. Love your surroundings. It's so much easier just living a happy life. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I am gonna play the Mike and the Night song. Oh, it's on. Oh, hold on.
Do we want more? As one we have the power to set us free. Mike and the Night live stream. Mike and the Night. Oh, Mike and the Night. So join us in the chat room. Join us in the chat room. You see us talking here, then through the door. 'Cause now we're planning to hit them streets. Mike in the Night room. Oh, Mike in the Night room. Read a real life in Missouri. Read a real life in Missouri. Oh.
Set your reminders, people.
Mike, don't worry about a thing.
Set your reminders next week.
Voice of the Commonwealth, don't you worry about a thing. Around the block, we'll keep on talking. Mike will be the one to do the talking. Down here on Peasant Street. Past the boulevard of broken dreams, where it's all still happening. Real to real, life
Send me show
is
tips.
real.
Instagram, send me your show tips here.
Mike and the Night live stream. Mike and the Night. Mike and the Night.
Subscribe to Ralphie.
Want from me. And why is it still our dream so easily? Oh, don't you worry about a thing.
Art by Dano.
No, won't let you worry about a thing. It's a right to feel, even those do or die, that we can make it right, even though the circumstances hurt. If we try this work? Or is it right to feel, baby? Let me know if it's do or die. We can make this work. We should make this work. If we try, baby, even though it's do or die, we can make this work. 1, 2, 3.
All right, guys, take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe.